Hello everyone. Welcome back to Ruby Tarot. Thank you so much for always following and supporting the channel. The moment you come across this video is the perfect time for you to receive its message. Here on this channel, I always bring you messages about the events that are about to unfold in your life. When you open your heart and trust in the positive energies, you're also aligning yourself with a parallel reality, one where your desires have already come true. Today, through this tarot reading, I will help you find direction in your love life and take steps toward manifesting your heartfelt wishes. The topic of today's reading is, what decision has your person recently made? We will delve deep into the true feelings they're holding inside and uncover what they're thinking regarding your connection and what lies ahead for both of you. I have selected 3 cards, representing Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Listen to your intuition and choose the card you feel most drawn to, then click the corresponding timestamp in the description box to jump straight to your reading. Now, let's begin the reading for those of you who have already made your choice. Hello, Pile 1. Thank you for your patience. Now, let's begin the reading for those of you who chose Pile 1. I hope this message brings you healing, new insights, and moments filled with love. First, we will look into the decision your person, the one you're thinking of, has recently made, particularly in relation to your connection. The energy surrounding this reading suggests that your relationship seems to be moving toward a new phase, a deeper level of emotional intimacy. It feels as though there is a transformation happening within the bond between you two. What was once unclear, such as their true feelings or the parts of themselves they never dared to reveal, now seems to be gradually surfacing. In the past, both of you may have kept certain things to yourselves, either because you didn't feel the need to speak them aloud, or perhaps you weren't sure how to express them. But now, those hidden layers are beginning to unfold on both sides. This shows that your connection is growing stronger and emotional closeness is being nurtured. In some cases, this may be a relatively new relationship where you've just started getting to know this person. The energy of a fresh breeze is present, something new and refreshing. But whether you've known each other for a long time or only recently met, the common feeling here is that you're beginning to see a much deeper side of them, something you hadn't seen before. The card Patience has also appeared in this reading, acting as a reminder that while you both are slowly opening up and beginning to share more genuine emotions, there are still things that cannot yet be fully expressed. It's as if the two of you are gradually drawing closer, yet something is still holding one or both of you back, a need to restrain your feelings or keep certain thoughts hidden. There may be an obstacle at play, either external circumstances or inner limitations, that prevents your person from acting on their feelings freely. It could also simply be a matter of timing, that in order for this relationship to grow and develop, more time is needed. The situation feels like you might be waiting for an answer, or sensing that something has been left unresolved, as if they have yet to respond to your heart in a clear, definitive way. In summary, this is a time when your connection with this person is clearly progressing, yet it also demands a great deal of patience, empathy, and mutual understanding from both sides. The decision they have recently made isn't necessarily a specific action, but rather an internal choice to be more open, more honest. However, along with that comes a sense of waiting, of having to overcome certain barriers before the relationship can move forward in a complete and fulfilling way. Since this is a reading about a recent decision your person has made, it's likely that from your side, as the one listening, you're yearning for something more definite. You may be thinking, if the answer is yes, then say yes. If it's no, then make it clear. You're seeking clarity, something conclusive, so that no matter the outcome, both of you can move into the next chapter in a way that serves each person's growth. It feels like many of you are in a state of confusion or restlessness, wanting things to progress faster. You may have your own reasons for wanting to accelerate this relationship. Perhaps you and your person finally have a chance to be together. The emotional connection is already there, but for some reason, you still have to hold back, to wait, unable to move forward as freely as you wish. There's an energy of longing here, of sorrow even. Love exists, yet you're still having to endure, still having to wait. This situation could stem from a long-distance relationship, or perhaps there are external factors keeping you two apart, preventing you from being close in the way you both desire. Which leads us to the question, why is there such a strong feeling of having to be patient, of needing to wait? The King of Cups appears in this reading, a figure who embodies deep emotion but tends to keep those feelings hidden beneath a calm and composed exterior. This is someone who may love with great depth, yet chooses to remain silent or express their emotions in a cautious, restrained manner. And because of this, you may feel like they're not giving you a clear answer, not taking any specific action, even though the feelings are undeniably there. However, The next card comes from the Angel Answers deck, bearing the message, within the next few weeks. This suggests that the barriers currently standing between the two of you, whether they stem from external circumstances or your person's internal world, are likely to shift within the next 3 weeks. The obstacles aren't limited to practical issues like distance or complicated emotions. They also lie in this person's temperament and mindset. This individual comes across as someone who is very serious, very principled. Even if they have strong feelings for you, they are not the type to easily let go or simply go with the flow of emotion. You may have found yourself thinking, if only they could just relax, take things a bit more lightly, everything would be so much easier. But for them, once they commit to a relationship, they want everything to be in order, no ambiguity, no loose ends. Additionally, the energy suggests that in recent weeks, or even right now, your person may be quite overwhelmed or busy. They could be going through a stressful period, lacking the time or mental space to invest fully in a relationship. So while their feelings for you are real, they may not yet be in a position to pursue things as actively or directly as you've been hoping for. In summary, this person seems to be someone with deep emotions, yet highly private and introspective, often choosing to keep their feelings hidden rather than express them outwardly. The decision they've recently made may be to maintain the bond with you while waiting for a more suitable moment to move forward, a time when both external and internal barriers have been cleared. And according to what this reading reveals, that time is drawing near, possibly within just the next few weeks. So it could be said that this person deeply wants to see you right now, but mentally, they're not in a place where they feel comfortable enough to act on that desire. Part of it stems from their personality. Another part comes from an emotional state that currently lacks stability. There are people who, despite being busy or under pressure, can still keep in touch and express themselves with flexibility. But others, like the one you're thinking of, find it nearly impossible to function when their emotions are unsettled. They need to sort through their internal feelings before they can open up or sustain a meaningful connection. Because of this, you might find yourself in a position where you're having to wait without receiving clear answers. You may feel that this person is ignoring you, for instance, taking a long time to reply to messages, not reading them at all, or even reading but not responding. These behaviors can leave you feeling suspended, uncertain, not knowing what they're thinking or how they truly feel. That's why we'll now delve deeper into their current emotions for you. The energy is clear. In their heart, you are someone incredibly special. They see you as the most suitable partner for a long-term commitment. If they were to marry, it would be you. If they were to choose a life companion, they want that person to be you. They've envisioned a future with you. Their thoughts are not just focused on the present. They're looking ahead, imagining a stable, lasting life together with you. Additionally, they may have noticed that you're often surrounded by people who care about you, friends, admirers, or even fans, individuals who offer you affection and attention. This could make them feel both admiration and a sense of unease, or even jealousy, to some degree. It's also possible that they are emotionally more dependent on you than you realize, a subtle obsession or, in other words, a strong emotional attachment. The card Shakti formation appears here as a clear message that your presence in their life has sparked profound changes. Even if the two of you haven't officially entered a romantic relationship, simply meeting and connecting with you has already begun to shift their life in significant ways. In fact, if you're someone who is spiritually sensitive or knowledgeable in metaphysical or intuitive matters, that may have had a powerful influence on them. They might not have believed in or paid much attention to spirituality before, but since meeting you, they've started noticing, becoming more open to the unseen dimensions of life. You've awakened something within them, made them more thoughtful, more introspective, more attuned to the subtleties of their inner world. It's fair to say that you have had, and continue to have, a deep and transformative impact on this person's life, perceptions, and emotional landscape, to such an extent that even they don't fully understand where this change is coming from. But they do know one thing for sure. It's because of you. And quietly, they are still processing and learning how to deal with the transformation that has begun within them. There is a fleeting yet distinct sense that this person feels there is a soul-level connection between the two of you, a bond that transcends logic or ordinary emotional interaction. And yet, something always seems to be holding them back. Whenever they think of you and want to act on their feelings, an invisible force seems to rise within, like an internal block that prevents them from fully reaching out or drawing closer to you in the way they truly desire. This also reveals that your person has truly fallen for you. They've been drawn deeply into this connection. It is a clear sign of how emotionally immersed and captivated they are by you. They think about you constantly. You occupy their thoughts more often than you realize. You remain in their mind as an unshakable presence, like a shadow that cannot be erased. To them, you are someone who must not be hurt. They feel that if they ever did something to make you sad or cause you pain, it would be utterly unacceptable. You are not only someone they love, but a symbol of light, of joy, of all things beautiful, like a muse, someone who radiates positivity and uplifts those around you. In their eyes, you are a child of light, someone with a gentle smile and a heart that brings goodness to the world. Because of this, they are being extremely careful with how they approach you. They're cautious, they maintain distance, and they observe you from afar. There is a very clear feeling that they deeply want to move closer to you, to bridge the space between you. Yet something inside them holds them back. And so, all they can do is watch from a distance, seeing you surrounded by friends, by admirers, and in their heart, they feel a quiet jealousy, a silent longing, wishing they could be by your side like those others. They truly see you as someone extraordinary, someone who, in their heart, they have secretly envisioned as a future wife, a future husband, or their ideal partner. When they look at you, they see the one they wish to commit to for life, someone they want to build a relationship with that is acknowledged, cherished, and celebrated by everyone around them. In fact, the cards carry messages of preparation for marriage, of a desire to formalize the relationship, to be together openly and joyfully. So it can be said that within this person lies a genuine longing to go far with you, to build something deep and enduring. And yet, and this is the unfortunate part, there is always a but. Something in their circumstances, in their mindset, or within their own inner world is still holding them back from moving forward as they wish. Even though their heart is directed toward you, even though their yearning to be with you is real, they remain trapped in a whirlwind of hesitation, self-restraint, or limiting external conditions. That's why they can only stand at a distance, looking at you with eyes full of tenderness and quiet helplessness. Indeed, there's a very distinct feeling that every time they want to move toward you, every time they think of you, something negative arises within them, an emotional wave that pulls them down, restrains them, and keeps them from acting according to their heart. It's as if some unseen force is pulling them back, blocking their steps from reaching you. And yet, here lies the contradiction. At the very same time, they also feel that without you, they would be deeply unhappy. It may not be a matter of not being able to survive without you, but the emotional weight feels that intense, a deep inner struggle, a growing emotional dependence. Some of them may already be becoming truly attached to the warmth, the presence, and the love that you bring. The feeling of simply being near you, of being in your space, brings them comfort and peace. And now they've grown so used to that presence that it's beginning to feel indispensable. The reading also reveals that this is a period of emotional transformation within your person. Their feelings for you are shifting, not fading, but deepening, growing more layered and complex. It's as if emotional threads are wrapping more tightly around you, making it harder for them to pull away. Even when their mind urges them to keep a distance, their heart keeps reaching toward you. Though they are currently very busy, you remain ever present in their thoughts. However, it's likely that they cannot express these feelings out loud. They may not know how to communicate their emotions, or perhaps they simply don't dare to. This creates an invisible wall between the two of you, a silence that holds many unspoken meanings. And behind that silence may lie old wounds, past pain, and emotional scars that have built a heavy block within their soul. Even if they now want to express themselves, to be honest about what they feel, those past traumas still linger, making it hard for them to be emotionally free. These could be wounds tied to love, betrayal, heartbreak, rejection, all forming a protective shell that keeps them at a distance, preventing them from fully opening their heart. That's why the barrier between you and them isn't just rooted in external circumstances, but also in their inner world, in their personality, their memories, and their unhealed fears. This is what keeps them from simply saying, "I miss you," or "I need you," even though their heart is silently screaming those words every single day. Now, let's delve deeper into this person's current state to better understand what's truly happening in their heart. The Judgment card appears in reverse, a strong indication that your person is feeling lost, unable to make a clear or decisive choice. Alongside it, the Yes card is also reversed, revealing that at this moment, they lack the ability or readiness to say yes or move forward, even if deep down they may already know the answer. The Mother card in reverse, typically a symbol of nurturing, care, and emotional safety, suggests an imbalance in their emotional life and inner world. It may be that they currently feel drained, unsupported, or unable to find a stable foundation within themselves. I also felt drawn to explore the area influenced by the Tough City card, and indeed, something here is depleting their life force. The World card appears in reverse, which is a very clear sign that a major cycle in their life is stuck, unable to come to a proper close. As a result, they are not yet able to step into a new beginning. Altogether, this suggests that something or someone is draining their energy. It could be a current relationship they have not been able to leave behind, or perhaps a heavy burden of responsibility they're carrying. This could involve a demanding job, a socially significant role, or family obligations that weigh heavily on them, making it nearly impossible to fully invest in their personal feelings or romantic life. These external pressures are adding layers of complexity and heaviness to their world, keeping them from moving forward freely. This also explains why, despite the strong emotional connection between the two of you, an invisible barrier still stands in the way. It's not that they don't want to nurture the relationship, they simply don't have the strength to do so right now. Not because the desire is missing, but because external circumstances are draining the life out of them day by day. The acceptance card also appears, indicating that they are currently trying to come to terms with their reality. They may be telling themselves that they just have to endure, to push through this phase, or learning to live with the fact that they can't always follow their heart, because there are bigger matters that demand their attention. This is the state of someone who is trying their best, even though deep down, they know it's far from easy. Additionally, something quite unique emerges in this reading. It seems this person is living or working in an environment where feminine energy is dominant. It could be a workplace with many women, or a profession related to care, education, art, or similar fields. But what's important to understand is that this does not suggest they are flirtatious or insincere in love. On the contrary, the reading strongly indicates that this person is serious and committed by nature, but currently placed in a setting or role that requires them to embody qualities associated with feminine energy, sensitivity, nurturing, empathy. It's also possible that this person inherently carries strong feminine energy, meaning they live more through emotion and intuition, tend to be introspective, empathetic, and often worry about others. This makes them more vulnerable to emotional responsibilities and susceptible to exhaustion if they aren't supported or cared for properly. And when their inner world lacks stability or resilience, they find it difficult to move toward love with intention, even though their heart continues to reach for you. I sense that there is one or perhaps several people around this person who are exerting a strong influence over them, individuals who frequently offer advice or opinions, especially when your person feels confused or is searching for answers to life's challenges. It's possible that they have confided in these people about your relationship or about their current struggles, and in return, received advice that, rather than helping, only deepen their confusion and sense of being lost. It seems these suggestions aren't coming from a place of true understanding, but rather carry a disruptive energy, the kind that easily sways a person already in a vulnerable state. Notably, the individuals offering these opinions appear to carry a strong feminine energy. They may be women or men with a soft, emotional, and intuitive nature, but perhaps also lacking objectivity. They could be close friends, family members, or colleagues who hold a significant place in your person's life. There's also the possibility that your person has unintentionally overheard gossip or conversations that weren't meant for them, not necessarily about you, but the kind of idle talk and speculation that breeds doubt and insecurity. It feels as though they're being flooded with too many different viewpoints, too many conflicting pieces of advice, and it's leaving them even more overwhelmed and uncertain. For instance, the advice they're receiving may come from their parents, superiors, or other figures of authority in their life. And because they live in an environment where saying no is not easy, where refusing or going against such guidance may lead to tension or conflict, they feel compelled to listen and comply, even though, deep down, they know it doesn't truly align with who they are or what they want. There's a strong sense that your person is in a setting where saying yes feels like the safe choice, while saying no could bring about discomfort, confrontation, or repercussions. As a result, they're caught in a state of internal conflict, trapped between their genuine feelings and the heavy influence of external expectations, often coming from people they respect or fear disappointing. Digging deeper, it becomes clear that their hesitation to make a decision doesn't entirely stem from their own uncertainty, but rather from the weight of the influences surrounding them. This is further confirmed by the appearance of the Queen of Wands, a symbol of a powerful woman or a strong feminine presence with significant sway over them. This could represent a specific individual, such as a mother, older sister, or a female superior. Or it could simply be the embodiment of an environment filled with unspoken expectations and pressures. Your person is taking a considerable amount of time to reach a decision because they are being pulled in different directions, torn between their personal desires and the obligations imposed by the outside world. And so, even though their feelings for you are sincere, even though they know in their heart what they want, acting on those feelings is a difficult journey, one where they're still struggling to balance the demands of their heart with the weight of their responsibilities. There's a strong sense that the people surrounding this person may not be acting entirely out of pure affection or sincere care. The question arises, do they truly care about your person out of love, or are they simply trying to secure their place in this person's life? Is their concern rooted in genuine love, or is it a form of control, a personal need disguised as worry? It feels like these individuals, whether friends, family, or colleagues, are offering advice or opinions not necessarily with your person's best interests at heart, but rather from a place of personal agenda, whether consciously or unconsciously. And it is precisely these voices that are adding to your person's confusion, clouding their clarity, and keeping them from moving forward with confidence. If the guidance they receive truly came from a place of love, understanding, and a desire for their well-being, it would surely resonate with their heart and offer encouragement. But in this case, it seems the words being spoken are only fueling doubt, causing hesitation, even though their heart may be longing to move toward you. What's particularly notable is that your person's environment is saturated with feminine energy, not just in terms of physical presence, but in the emotional atmosphere itself. There's a sense of jealousy, subtle rivalry, or even hidden control. Someone of the same gender might secretly envy your person or harbor resentment toward the idea of them finding happiness, whether in love or success. In fact, the thought of your person drawing closer to you, or achieving something meaningful, might be triggering negative emotions in those around them. What's heartbreaking is that your person seems to be someone who trusts easily, who doesn't naturally question the intentions of others. They have an open heart, and because of that, they tend to absorb advice without filtering it, without stopping to ask whether it truly aligns with their own truth. This openness has left them caught in a painful tug-of-war between their authentic feelings for you and the emotional pressure exerted by those around them. The subtle remarks, the influences that do not stem from genuine love, all of these are forming a major barrier that prevents your person from following their heart. They want to move toward you, but they're bound by invisible threads woven from the interference of others. If this is truly the case, it's a deeply unfortunate situation, not because they lack feelings, but because their choices are not entirely their own. They're being affected by a toxic environment, and that is what's halting the progress of your connection. The relationship isn't stalled due to a lack of emotion, but because your person has been placed in a situation where there seems to be no clear way out. From another perspective, this could also be a critical point in their journey, a time to recognize their limits, to learn how to establish boundaries with those who are invading their emotional space and infringing on their freedom. This isn't just a path of love, it's a journey of inner awakening. What I sense very clearly is that your person is currently caught in a whirlwind of countless external influences, as if they are spinning in the middle of a chaotic current beyond their control. It feels like they're being pulled in different directions by conflicting opinions, and it's leaving them increasingly disoriented and unable to stand firmly in their truth. However, there's an important message here. This is a necessary part of their journey. Listening to various perspectives, being exposed to multiple voices, and eventually arriving at their own decision. This too is a form of growth. Even if the card appears in reverse, it doesn't imply error. It simply reflects that they are still in the process of evaluating, reconsidering, and mentally reorganizing their world. Despite the many voices, the many demands from work, from responsibility, from the expectations of others, this person still wants to handle everything with as much clarity and care as possible. It's fair to say that this person is not someone who makes decisions lightly. They are not the type to rush into things based on fleeting emotions. Instead, they want everything to be well thought out and fully ripened before taking action. That's why, at this moment, many of you may feel like your connection with them has entered a phase of waiting, requiring patience, because they are not yet able, or not yet ready, to take the next step. However, I don't sense avoidance or emotional withdrawal here. On the contrary, I believe the reason behind their delay is that they are genuinely thinking things through with great seriousness. They don't want to make promises or move forward without certainty, because they see you as someone truly important, and when they choose, they want it to be a decision made with full conviction, one they will never regret. So even if it looks like they're hesitating, it's actually because they're investing a lot of care and thought into this choice. There's also a sense that they are waiting for something, perhaps a word of encouragement, a piece of advice, or even a small external push to give them the courage to make their final decision. They're the kind of person who is easily influenced by their surroundings, and sometimes all they need is for someone to simply say, just go for it. Everything will be okay. That one sentence could be the very thing they need to cross the line from hesitation into action. So, when it comes to this person's recent decision, the truth is, they may have already made it, but are still hesitating at the final step. A part of them has already leaned toward a choice, yet they can't quite say they're fully ready. It's as though one foot is already moving toward you, while the other remains grounded in the old world, waiting for one last sign to step forward completely. Now, let's go deeper to see exactly what this person has decided. The Heart card appears. Once again, a card that symbolizes the heart, love, and emotional truth. And this time, the message is clear. This person is trying to give their feelings a concrete form. They no longer want these emotions to remain abstract or suspended in the air. Because they long for something defined, something they can name and step into with clarity, they've been thinking so deeply. And the reading makes it very clear. They've chosen love. They've decided that no matter how complicated things may be, they still want to honor and protect what they truly feel inside. It's not just about loving someone. It's about making a decision to be honest with themselves, to live in alignment with their true emotions rather than continuing to avoid or sacrifice them for outdated rules. Interestingly, the card that appears in reverse is the Hierophant, a symbol of rules, tradition, fixed beliefs, and personal value systems. When this card is reversed, it indicates that they are breaking away from the very principles they once clung to tightly. They are choosing to go against the rules they had set for themselves, stepping away from convention in order to follow their heart. Up until now, this person may have lived by the mindset, I will prioritize others' happiness over my own, or, if what I want causes someone pain, I'm willing to let it go. They have chosen self-sacrifice, valued harmony, and avoided pursuing their true desires, simply because they feared causing others disappointment. But now, they are telling themselves, it's time to live truthfully. It's time to allow myself to hold on to this feeling. No matter what others say, no matter how difficult the circumstances may be, the love I feel for this person, for you, is something I can no longer suppress. This is not an easy decision. It demands that they confront their fear of being judged, face the guilt that may arise if others are hurt, and resist the pressure from their surroundings. Yet in the end, they are choosing to break out of the old cycle, to dismantle the limits they once placed on themselves, in order to protect the truth within their heart. And not just protect it, but allow themselves to fully love, to feel, to live in alignment with what's truly unfolding inside. This marks a profound turning point. From someone who always yielded and lived for others, they are now learning to return to themselves. They are choosing you, not because you meet any external standard, but because you are the one who makes them feel alive in the most honest way. Even if the road ahead still holds its share of challenges, this is the beginning of a deep transformation, a moment where they stop running and start choosing to love, to live, and to embrace their true feelings. Even if their mind once whispered, maybe I should let go, even if the relationship or the present situation led them to consider walking away, in their deepest core, they couldn't erase what they felt. They couldn't erase it, and so they've decided they won't try to anymore. They are choosing this love, and that decision is shining clearly through the energy. This person truly wants to hold on to this connection. And because of this choice, your person is being compelled to confront something significant. They must break a few rules they once set for themselves. These were principles they believed to be absolute, perhaps a promise they made to themselves, an internal commitment, or a life philosophy they had long upheld. But in order to follow their heart and choose this love, they now realize they may no longer be able to honor that promise to themselves. Still, they are willing to accept that, because what they truly want now is to move toward a relationship with you that is clear, tangible, and real. A card symbolizing tradition also appears, a reminder of everything associated with formality, sincerity, and long-term commitment. This may reflect a desire for marriage, or at the very least, a relationship with a defined identity and place in both your lives. Your person wants to do things in a proper, thoughtful way, for example, to make the relationship public, to inform close friends and family, and even to meet and formally greet both sets of parents as a sign of respect and serious intent. All of this reveals just how much they value the image of this relationship in the eyes of others. They want it to be recognized. They want it to be accepted by those they care about. And because of that, they're holding on to the hope that one day, Even those who once doubted or opposed this connection will come to understand and ultimately support the choice they've made. However, this person is also beginning to reevaluate themselves, because if they were still the version of who they once were, they would never have made a decision like this. It's likely they used to have unspoken rules or rigid patterns they applied to love and relationships, and now they're consciously breaking those patterns. This speaks volumes about the seriousness and depth of commitment they are bringing to this connection. They've made the decision that, even if it means breaking the principles they once lived by, they still want to move toward you and continue building this relationship. This also reveals that much of their past hesitation came from the way they've always lived, a way of life centered on others, shaped by external standards and public perception, what one might call living according to the axis of others. But when their feelings for you became too strong, too real to suppress or ignore, it forced them to choose. And they have chosen you. This is a decision made with great courage, as if they're training themselves to be brave enough to be misunderstood or disliked. It means that even if others misunderstand, criticize, or disapprove, they are still willing to protect the relationship with you. If this person is someone deeply immersed in their work, someone who has always prioritized their career above all else, then this choice signifies a shift, not necessarily quitting their job, but perhaps lightening their workload, rearranging their schedule to create more time for you. They have chosen to make that change because of you. In the past, their former self would have undoubtedly placed work at the very top of their priorities and would not have sacrificed that for anything else. But now, having time to date you, to stay in touch, to maintain this connection, all of it has become a priority. They've truly decided to value the time they spend with you. And that marks a profound shift, not just in their thinking but in their actions as well. And when I pulled Lenormand cards to trace the flow of energy from this decision to its ultimate outcome, the final result was the heart card, not just once, but a double heart, a symbol of profound love and sincerity. This indicates that the entire journey this person is undertaking, from their inner transformation to their actions and choices, is centered around a heartfelt, genuine love for you. Everything leads back to love. And because of that, I can confidently say, this is a truly solid connection, and this person is moving toward you with great seriousness and clarity. This is a journey in which they have been given a chance to love, to live truthfully with their emotions, and to connect with you in a complete and wholehearted way. Their choice to live honestly, to choose love, this is not just an internal decision, but one that is opening doors to new opportunities sent from the universe. It may manifest as a moment for the two of you to meet, or a situation that seems coincidental but is actually divinely orchestrated, fated alignments beginning to appear as a reward for their courage to embrace their true feelings. The Ship card reveals that this relationship is about to begin moving forward in a smooth, natural flow, as if everything is being gently propelled without force or pressure. The rhythm between the two of you will become more dynamic. For example, you may find yourselves meeting more frequently, or having more chances to talk and connect, even in ways that feel spontaneous and unplanned. Then comes the Knight of Wands, a powerful, active energy filled with desire and forward momentum. This suggests that your person is likely to become much more proactive, taking bold steps to approach you. Even if they were hesitant in the past, once they've made up their mind, everything begins to move quickly. They may have taken a long time to reflect and deliberate, but once the decision is made, there will be no more hesitation. They act. Moreover, the reading shows subtle divine orchestration, as if the universe itself is aligning events to support the growth of this connection. The time frame of 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months stands out as significant. During this period, you may have the chance to meet, or if this person had previously been hesitant to reach out, something will happen that compels them to initiate contact. In other words, some external circumstance or opportunity will arise, a catalyst that causes the relationship to move forward. The cards also clearly state, you will meet. Your person will take action to come toward you. And if you've been waiting, feeling confused or anxious, you can find peace in knowing that they are on their way. The Dog card appears, a symbol of closeness, loyalty, and deep friendship, alongside the heart, indicating that this connection is being driven not only by passion or fleeting emotion, but by genuine trust, lasting attachment, and heartfelt sincerity. The overall flow of energy at this time reveals a beautifully smooth process, as if all the doors are gradually opening to bring the two of you closer, not in a rushed way, but with steady, natural certainty. This love is being guided, supported by the universe, and your person is now ready to act on it. So even if there are current obstacles preventing you from easily coming together, there is no need to worry. The ship card doesn't only symbolize the emotional movement of a relationship, it also points to physical travel. This could suggest that if you are in a long-distance connection, some shift may occur, for example, one of you moving closer, or an unexpected event that shortens the distance between you. The universe is weaving subtle, perfectly timed synchronicities to help bring you two nearer, and all of this is unfolding within the next 2 to 3 weeks, or possibly within the next 2 months. The reading reveals a current that is flowing so smoothly, it leaves very little to worry about. If there's any lingering doubt within you, it may simply come from being used to waiting, or from fearing that things might not go as hoped. But in truth, every card points to the same message. There is nothing to fear. Everything is moving in alignment. The final outcome of this reading is the heart card, the highest symbol of love, indicating an incredibly positive conclusion. This person has chosen you. It's not just a matter of comparing you to their work or the people around them. In every possible scenario, they've decided to move toward you. Even if they are currently in another relationship, or were once torn between you and something else, they are now clearly leaning in your direction. Their feelings for you are so intense that it seems they have become emotionally dependent on you, as if to say, without you, I don't know what to do. And because this love runs so deep, they are ready to take action to protect and nurture it. Your relationship will grow more bonded, more intimate, a connection built from within and translated into tangible, loving actions. So everything they've decided comes down to one clear truth. They are placing you as a top priority in their life. They will not let the fire in their heart burn out. Instead, they will continue to nurture it. They will take action. And those actions will be evident in every little thing, in how they reach out, how they care for you, and how they show up for this relationship. Based on the overall energy of this reading, I can say with certainty, if you continue as you are now, holding on to your trust, allowing things to unfold naturally, the outcome will be truly beautiful. There is no need to push, no need to worry. Everything is progressing in the right direction, lovingly and sincerely. Although everything in this reading points to a smooth flow and a deeply positive outcome, I understand that for those listening to this message, there may still be lingering worries, questions, or doubts in your heart. Because when faced with so many real-life obstacles, sometimes hearing that everything will be okay can feel hard to believe. So if there's something within you that's still uncertain, perhaps the real question to ask is, what is truly causing the blockage in this connection? Or if there is a barrier, what can be done to overcome it? Does it require a proactive step from you? When I pulled a card to clarify this, the Page of Swords appeared. This card carries a very specific message. It speaks to the importance of information, of observing, listening, and receiving. It reflects a cautious, clear-minded energy, a deliberate pace marked by attentiveness. The card seems to be saying, you don't need to rush, and you don't need to find a way to remove every obstacle in front of you, because most of these challenges are not things you can resolve by yourself. At the same time, the energy of the reading emphasizes that the universe is walking beside you. What may appear as luck or coincidence is, in fact, an intentional orchestration by a higher energy, gradually opening new doors to bring the two of you closer together. So rather than trying to control or shift the situation, what you need right now is a mindset of calm observation and readiness to welcome the changes that are already on their way. The advice here is, allow things to unfold in their own time. Your person will take action. They will make a move. And you don't need to hurry. Simply receive, gently and steadily. The sense of caution here doesn't mean hesitation or fear, but rather a grounded presence, a strength that keeps you centered, so you don't get swept up in anxiety or pressure to do something. You don't need to untangle these issues on your own, because most of them are beyond your control, and they are gradually being resolved by your person and by the universe itself. So be patient, but not in a passive way. This is about holding a steady belief, a quiet strength rooted in the knowing that everything is genuinely moving in a positive direction, just as your heart has long hoped for. Even if this waiting period feels heavy or difficult, the most important thing right now is to soften into the moment and allow things to unfold in their natural rhythm. Let your person take initiative in their own time. What you can do now is trust and remain open. Handing over the reins and believing they will take action when the time is right is a vital part of this journey. Additionally, the Page of Swords, as a card of communication and awareness, suggests that you may play a meaningful role in helping them open up emotionally. You may become the one who gently unlocks their heart, a subtle storyteller, someone who invites rather than demands. Instead of only sharing about yourself, try to ask them more about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and what's been weighing on their mind. Doing so won't just help you understand them better, it will also allow them to feel that you're a safe and trusted space for their vulnerability. Little by little, you'll become the place they want to return to, a source of deep emotional grounding. If they're carrying silent worries or unspoken thoughts, you'll be the first person they think of when they need to unburden themselves. And when your connection evolves into that, when you become a warm, reliable presence in their inner world, the barriers that once felt so overwhelming will begin to dissolve on their own. You won't need to break through the obstacles. The bond between you will do that naturally. Even if the two of you are not officially in a relationship at the moment, you can still begin to create a special place for yourself in their heart. Be someone they can turn to when they need to be heard, understood, and met with empathy. However, and this is very important, everything must remain in balance. A subtle message from intuition whispers: be mindful not to overextend. If you become too available, too attentive, or always the one who is there whenever they need support, without maintaining a healthy distance, they may begin to rely on you the way a child depends on a parent. In such a dynamic, the connection can easily shift into imbalance, where you become the one who gives constantly while they grow accustomed to receiving, eventually developing an emotional dependency. So the delicate wisdom here is this: be a steady presence, but don't become someone who carries everything for them. Let them remain the lead in their own life story, while you walk beside them as a companion, a gentle light that helps them see their true emotions more clearly. Between listening and holding your boundaries, always choose the point of balance to sustain a healthy and lasting connection. You don't always have to say yes, accept everything, or respond with "it's okay, I'll handle it for you." Carrying all of their emotions and problems is not necessarily a sign of love. What truly matters is knowing how to preserve your boundaries and, at times, offering constructive, honest feedback. Not to hurt them, but to help them grow, and to protect your own emotional integrity as well. You can be a place of comfort for them, but that doesn't mean you must be a refuge where they escape all responsibility. A touch of firmness, a sense of clarity, accountability, and timely guidance is just as essential to ensure the relationship doesn't fall into a one-sided dynamic. This, too, is an act of honoring your own feelings. For example, if this person begins to depend on you too heavily, constantly texting at all hours, insisting on seeing you whenever they want, or seeking your support without regard for your schedule or personal life, then that is the moment you need to establish boundaries. Let them know you have your own responsibilities, your own life, and you must honor yourself first. You still care, you still love, but you also need to maintain balance. You don't need to, and you shouldn't, blindly sacrifice yourself just to accommodate someone else. So, learn to say no with both gentleness and firmness. Learn to clearly communicate your limits, and don't hesitate to protect your own space. It's not about pushing them away. It's about creating a healthy dynamic in which both of you can grow, stay grounded, and remain emotionally sovereign, free from unhealthy dependency. Then, when I pulled another card to clarify the message, Soul Plan appeared. This card brings a sacred reminder. Everything that is happening now, the obstacles, the delays, the distance, is all part of a divine soul plan. If you feel like the relationship is stuck or not progressing the way you'd hoped, know that this is not random. It is a necessary chapter in your journey together. These challenges may, in fact, be serving as a sacred test, helping you both understand each other more deeply, strengthen the connection, or begin healing emotional wounds that each of you still carry. And if this is a karmic relationship, meaning two souls have come together to resolve past life lessons, then it becomes even more essential to go through a period of release and purification before entering a phase of true emotional union. Everything is unfolding in alignment with the order of the universe, just as your souls agreed upon before reuniting in this lifetime. Trust in that process, because it is guiding you not only toward love, but toward deep inner growth and spiritual awakening within yourself. What's important to note is that karma doesn't necessarily mean something unresolved between the two of you. It could also be individual karmic energy, wounds, past experiences, or personal soul lessons that each of you carries. When these karmic imprints remain unhealed, they can become obstacles in the relationship. And only when each person confronts and releases these patterns can the path between you open naturally and securely. However, the reading clearly shows that energy is still moving, still propelling this connection forward. Things are shifting, even if you cannot yet see the full picture in this present moment. And when I pulled one more card to tune into whether there's something still lingering within you, the Tower in reverse appeared, a powerful symbol of collapse, but in its reverse position, it no longer signifies sudden breakdowns. Instead, it points to suppression, a process being held back, or a fear that has yet to be released. Alongside it came the Knight of Swords, a symbol of speed, action, and intense forward momentum. This combination reveals a deep inner conflict within you. On one hand, you long for this relationship to progress more quickly and with greater clarity. On the other hand, there is a subtle fear buried within, a quiet anxiety that if everything unfolds too smoothly or too quickly, you might lose it just as fast. You may be feeling like the relationship is developing too slowly, to the point of frustration or doubt. But if you look more closely, some of that delay may actually be influenced by your own subconscious fears. Somewhere inside, there may still be old beliefs such as, if I'm too happy, something bad will happen, or when I finally get what I want, I'll have to give something up, or happiness doesn't last, so it's safer not to expect too much. These are energetic blocks, fear-based patterns lying deep within that may be unconsciously holding back the natural flow of love. Sometimes, even just imagining everything going beautifully, only to suddenly fall apart, can lead you to think, maybe it's better if it doesn't go too well. And from there, you don't allow yourself to fully step into the relationship, even if your heart deeply wants it. In truth, this is a deeply human defense mechanism. We fear pain, so we choose to avoid hope. But if you are brave enough to face that fear and recognize that you deserve happiness, that you are capable of receiving and keeping it, everything will begin to shift in an entirely new way. Happiness isn't something that's always destined to be taken away. It's something you can hold, nurture, and live with if you love yourself enough to receive it. So instead of demanding that the relationship move faster or become clearer, begin by healing within. Look gently into the unconscious beliefs that make you hesitate in the face of joy. When you shift your inner world, the entire external reality, including your connection with this person, will naturally begin to shift as well. These inner patterns often originate from deep layers of the subconscious, where energetic blocks continue to operate quietly, even if you're not consciously aware of them. This is the part of you that doesn't exist in the realm of the thinking mind, but rather holds onto emotional wounds from the past, whether from this lifetime or even past lives. And it's from this place that a subtle belief may form. If I'm too happy, if things are going too smoothly, then surely something terrible must be waiting around the corner. In other words, you may have subconsciously linked happiness and loss as two inseparable sides of the same coin. This leads to a pattern where, even though you don't want things to go wrong, you may begin imagining negative scenarios that you never intended to manifest. For example, even when your person shows no sign of infidelity, you might begin to suspect something is wrong, gradually believe in that assumption, emotionally attach to it, and behave as if that imagined fear were already real. This doesn't mean you're pessimistic or negative, not at all. This is a state that almost everyone who has ever loved deeply has experienced. These are very human reactions, and in fact, I believe it's even a beautiful part of how tenderly and wholeheartedly you love. But what's important is recognizing that these negative imaginings are not the truth, and if you allow them to take over, they can unconsciously hold back the progress of the relationship. That fear, even if you never speak it aloud, is still present in your energy, and it may be creating an invisible wall between you and this person. The universe, in its subtle and wise way, always mirrors back the vibration you carry within. When your inner world is filled with doubt, fear, and fragility, your outer world will reflect situations that feel uncertain, threatening, or unstable. So the issue may not lie in the person or the relationship itself, but in the fact that, unknowingly, you may be attracting delay and resistance simply because your subconscious is trying to protect you from being hurt. But the deeper truth is, that very fear of pain may be what's causing you to miss out on the chance to receive a beautiful love. This is an invitation for you to come back inward and look deeply into yourself. Ask, what is it that makes me believe I don't deserve a fulfilling, lasting love? Who made me believe that happiness never lasts? When you face those questions and begin to heal the answers, you will unlock a new current, one where love is no longer blocked by fear, but nourished by peace, confidence, and strength from within you. Actually, this doesn't just apply to love. It holds true for many other aspects of life as well. It's possible that the things you're worrying about right now are, in fact, anxieties created by your own imagination. I'm sorry if this doesn't resonate with your situation, but there's a chance it might. The things you believe are happening may never have actually occurred, Or if they did, you may be perceiving and interpreting them in a way that's far more negative and serious than they really are. For instance, when you haven't had a clear conversation with the person in question, you might be imagining their thoughts or feelings. Then, you continue building on those imagined thoughts in a direction filled with worry and insecurity, and your mind ends up convincing itself that something bad is definitely going on. But if you truly open your heart and talk to them, you might be surprised to discover that it's nothing like what you had feared, that things aren't nearly as serious as you thought they were. From all of this, I get the sense that you are someone who is very cautious and careful with your emotions. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, in today's world, being emotionally cautious is often necessary to protect yourself from getting hurt. But when this person has shown such genuine affection, with cards that clearly reflect love, such as I love you or I truly treasure you, perhaps it's time to allow yourself a little more peace of mind. I've drawn a few more cards to listen to the message that this person may be trying to send you, to better understand how they perceive the worries you've been carrying. And the first card that came up was Have Help. This card suggests that this person, too, has a spiritual side and is sensitive to energy and the unseen. They may be receiving guidance from the universe or other invisible forces, or they may be becoming aware that both of you are being supported in overcoming the distance or disconnect that currently exists. The next card is Long Distance. But the distance here isn't just geographical, it's also emotional, the space between two hearts. It's possible that you and this person are physically close, yet there are things left unsaid, fears left unshared, and all of this creates a subtle, hard-to-define sense of separation. That emotional distance is likely what makes the relationship feel slow to progress or lacking in certainty. Because even if there is affection between the two of you, as long as there is still a gap in emotional connection, negative thoughts and unnamed worries can easily creep in. A relationship cannot truly evolve if one or both people are still hesitant or have yet to fully open their heart. However, with the card Have Help appearing alongside this, I believe this isn't something you're meant to handle alone. The universe is walking with you. And even if this person doesn't show it outwardly, they are trying to come closer to you. If you allow yourself to let go, just a little, of those imagined fears, those self-created scenarios in your mind, you'll begin to sense a clear shift taking place. Perhaps what you need right now isn't a bold action, but an inner stillness, a quiet permission to trust again, to believe that you are worthy of love, to believe that beautiful things can still come your way without always being accompanied by the fear of loss. And when you can do that, the distance between you, whether physical or emotional, will gently but deeply begin to close. No matter how close the two of you may seem, whether you live together or know each other inside out, if there are still lingering doubts within you, especially those born from imagination or anxiety about the future, those doubts themselves can form an invisible barrier. And even if you're not intentionally suspicious, even if there's no concrete reason for concern, there may still be a subtle emotional guard within you, a quiet space you hold back. And this person, I can sense it clearly, they feel that. They feel that you are standing just a little too far away, and they are hoping for you to come closer, to open your heart to them more fully. It's also possible that you're carrying inner doubts related to differences in age, living situations, or other social factors. Perhaps at some point, you've asked yourself, should this relationship continue? Or is there truly a future for us? And from there, you may have started imagining negative scenarios or envisioning countless obstacles lying ahead. But what's important to recognize is that the more you think about these concerns, the deeper you spiral into them, the wider the emotional distance between you and this person becomes, especially the distance within the heart. Right now, that person can clearly feel this growing gap. They sense that you're no longer as close as you once were, or that something is making you withdraw. Yet what's admirable about them is that they're not the kind of person who's easily swayed by gossip or external pressure. They live in alignment with their heart. Even though they may currently be affected by their surroundings, by work, family, or the demands of daily life, ultimately, they will still choose what their heart tells them is right. That's why they're hoping you can live the same way, authentically, true to your emotions, and respectful of what your heart is feeling. They don't just want you to trust them. They want you to trust in the feelings you're carrying inside. They hope you'll cherish the love you hold for them, instead of doubting it or dismissing it because of external reasons. Because love never needs perfect conditions to exist. It only needs to be real, nurtured with honesty and courage from both sides. And this person is waiting for you, not for a perfect version of you, not for someone who is always cheerful or strong, but for you, just as you are, with a sincere heart, a brave spirit, and a love that's true. So instead of letting your mind get caught in negative imaginings or vague anxieties, return to the real question. What is this person truly thinking about you? What do they genuinely feel for you? If you've been worrying about age gaps, physical distance, or any other factor that only shows one thing, you love this person deeply. It is precisely because you care so much that you're concerned about the future, that you're sensitive to anything that might affect the relationship. But what matters most right now is returning to the core, the love you feel for them. Cherish and honor that love, because it is the very thing that can bridge the distance between you. What I sense is that this person wants to tell you this. Treasure the love you carry in your heart, because that love is the bridge between us. Don't let external circumstances make you forget what you truly feel inside. And within the reading, a very clear piece of guidance has also appeared. You don't have to carry all of this alone. If you're feeling exhausted, if you've been holding in all these thoughts, worries, and emotions by yourself for too long, consider opening up. You can lean on someone you trust. Share with a close friend. Confide in someone you feel safe with, or even reach out to a counselor, someone who can help you see and understand what you're truly feeling inside. Just like how you're tuning into this reading right now, that, too, is a way of reconnecting with yourself and finding the light to guide your path forward. When you hold everything inside for too long, it becomes easy to get swept into spirals of negative thinking. But if you allow yourself to express, to share, then those heavy, stuck energies within you will gradually begin to release. Sometimes, all it takes is one moment of heartfelt listening, one small gesture of understanding, to completely shift how you feel about the relationship. And after everything, let the rest be entrusted to the universe. If there are things you're still uncertain about, still wondering, speak to the universe. Please help resolve this in the best way for everyone involved. Place your hand on your heart and believe that the universe is always beside you, always listening to your quiet prayers, and always guiding everything toward healing and wholeness. Everyone has their own worries, but love, when nurtured with sincerity, surrender, and trust, will always find its way to where it truly belongs. And you are worthy of being loved in a way that feels safe, clear, and gentle, just as your heart has always longed for. If the root of your worries truly stems from imagination, from stories your mind has created, then what this person wants you to know right now is this. Don't let your thoughts take you too far from what's real. Come back to see clearly what you're truly feeling in your heart. Honor it, because what matters most is not what might happen in the future, but the sincere love you are carrying within you in this very moment. This person has made a decision. And when drawing cards about the final outcome, the heart card appeared once again, a clear and powerful symbol that the two of you can come together. This connection is real. The feelings between you are real. However, what the final outcome will look like is still taking shape, and that doesn't depend solely on them. It also depends on you. The message here is, welcome everything with a positive mindset. The final outcome might be a marriage. It could also be a close partnership or a deep, soulful bond that doesn't need a specific label. Even if the relationship doesn't unfold in the official form you once hoped for, both of you will still honor and cherish the emotions you share, a mature, understanding, and meaningful relationship. This person has chosen this love. They've chosen to protect the feelings they hold for you, to allow themselves to love you, and to walk the path their heart is guiding them toward. And the rest, what this relationship becomes from here, can be shaped by the energy you put out. If you allow yourself to be led by negative imaginings, you may unknowingly create distance and delay. But if you hold on to trust and listen to your heart with honesty and openness, you are helping shape the future in the most beautiful way possible. Everything that is unfolding now is part of a soul-level plan that has been arranged long before, not just for the two of you, but also for those connected to you. It is a divine alignment, carefully orchestrated by the universe to bring forth the greatest good, not only for you and this person, but for the greater journey that your soul is meant to walk. Trust that no matter what the outcome may be, you are being guided toward what is truly best for you. And the most important thing you can do right now is to live in alignment with your heart, to honor the love you feel, and to allow that love to grow in a space of freedom, understanding, and acceptance. The peace within you will be the key that unlocks the door to this connection. From that very foundation, your emotional honesty and inner clarity, this relationship will gradually move toward the most beautiful outcome for both of you. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that right now you will enter into marriage or a traditional committed relationship. What's being emphasized here is that the way you think, your positive attitude, will play a part in shaping the path of this connection. If you can replace your worries with positive visions, if you can allow yourself to believe that good things are truly possible, you'll be opening a very different energetic door. But I also understand being told to always stay positive can feel like an overwhelming pressure, and that wouldn't be fair. You don't need to force yourself to always be cheerful, strong, or endlessly hopeful. What matters more is gently asking yourself, if we were to move toward each other, what would genuinely bring me happiness? It's not about forcing yourself into positivity, it's about returning to the sincere desire within you. Because that answer is the direction your heart has been trying to find. The card adventure journey appeared as a soft reminder. You don't need to confine this relationship to any specific mold. Don't limit yourself to definitions of what it must be or believe that only if it looks a certain way can it be considered real or right. This relationship does not have to end in marriage to be meaningful. It doesn't need to follow a traditional path to be considered successful. Instead, ask yourself, what would a relationship that makes you feel comfortable, safe, and free to be your true self look like? Maybe it's a life partner, a soulmate, a companion with whom you share a deep connection, not bound by labels, but united through mutual understanding and the willingness to stay by each other's side. Or perhaps it's a journey where the two of you walk together, discovering as you go, not needing to know exactly where you're headed, only knowing that every step is meaningful and worthwhile. The final message for you is this: allow yourself the freedom to be. Be free to define happiness in your own terms. And when you do that, you're not only opening a door for yourself, you're creating a space where love can truly grow in a way that is gentle, profound, and lasting, aligned with the essence of your soul. However, there is something important to keep in mind. This person is someone who takes life seriously, lives with strong principles, and deeply values socially accepted norms. While they possess a heightened spiritual sensitivity, live authentically from within, and often follow the voice of their heart, they are also someone who is quite mindful of how others perceive them. They care about external opinions and what is considered reasonable or appropriate in the eyes of society. So in some situations, even with their spiritual depth, they may still respond in a more logical or measured way and might not always resonate with ideas that feel too abstract or ungrounded. However, their overall energy is still that of someone who lives genuinely through their emotions. Even if they don't use words like spirituality, they live with an open heart, guided by strong intuition and a deep sensitivity to the flow of life. That's why it's important not to confine this relationship within rigid frameworks. You don't need to ask yourself, are we the kind of couple that fits the norm? Or is our relationship like other people's? Instead, ask yourself, is this the kind of connection that brings me happiness? Does this relationship bring peace to my heart? That realization is the first step toward turning your desires into reality. The guidance here is to release the predefined molds and definitions that society, or even you, may have previously imposed. Because often, when we start imagining negative outcomes, when we begin to worry or feel doubtful, it's a sign that we're trying to force things into a certain shape and feeling disappointed when reality doesn't align with that image. But love doesn't need to follow any formula. It can be redefined, freer, more flexible, and still profoundly beautiful. For example, maybe you want to get married but still maintain your own career, or you want a deep, soul-connected relationship without the need for legal paperwork. That is entirely possible. As long as you dare to imagine the version of happiness that feels most true to you and keep believing in it, the universe will gradually guide you closer to that very vision. This reading revealed the appearance of 2 heart cards, a rare and sacred occurrence. This isn't just a symbol of love, it's a powerful sign that the emotions between the two of you are deep and genuine. This is not a fleeting or surface-level connection, it is a rare resonance of the soul. This reading feels like a special message confirming that you are on a profoundly important journey, one that, if you're brave enough to live truthfully with your emotions, release limitations, and trust the path you've chosen, can truly lead you to a place of fulfillment and happiness. Throughout my many years of reading, I've rarely encountered an outcome as extraordinary as this. What struck me most was how perfectly aligned the person's decision and the final outcome of the relationship were. Both point clearly toward the same destination, a bond that is undeniable, free of hesitation or ambiguity. This is a reading filled with such certainty, such unmistakable energy, that it simply cannot be ignored. And when I look at the cards linked to the heart chakra in this reading, it feels as if I'm witnessing something sacred, like this love has been marked in advance by an unseen force. I can't help but sense the presence of destiny in the connection between you and this person. The feeling is clear and unmistakable. The two of you chose to meet long before this lifetime began. This is not a random encounter. It is a soul-level rendezvous, predetermined before you were even born. That's why I believe this relationship carries deep potential for learning and awakening. Perhaps since meeting this person, your life has undergone significant transformation. You've come to understand more about yourself. You've begun to view emotions and the world differently, and you've been pushed to grow, to love yourself more deeply. None of these things are coincidence. They are the very lessons your soul agreed to learn through this connection. This person is not only a potential life partner, they are a deep spiritual companion, someone whose presence profoundly impacts your inner growth. And in return, you have brought about great changes within them as well. Since meeting you, they have begun to transform, to shift from within. This relationship is an exchange between two souls destined to connect, to evolve, and to support one another on their respective journeys. That's why I wholeheartedly believe this is a union orchestrated by the universe. Whether or not you believe in past lives, the sense of belonging between you two is incredibly strong in this reading. This person brings immense meaning to your life, a presence that cannot be replaced or simply pass through like a fleeting breeze. And what's more beautiful is this. They have chosen love. They've chosen the feelings they hold for you, moved beyond their fears, broken through the inner barriers, and made a decision from the heart. It reminds me of something I often say. In love, fear always exists, and within fear, there is always room for love. The question is, do we have the courage to find love even in the darkness, in uncertainty, in moments of doubt? This person has seen that light. They chose love, even with lingering worries, even with unanswered questions. And that choice stands as a powerful testament that this relationship holds not only emotional depth, but also sacred significance in the journey of the soul. I truly believe that if you, too, choose love, if you choose to live in alignment with your heart, then the path ahead will be illuminated by the very light that both your souls have carried for one another for a very long time. When we love, we often find ourselves caught in fear. We imagine what hasn't happened yet. We worry about the future, about the risk of loss, about not being loved back. But love and fear always walk side by side, like two sides of the same coin. And in the end, we must choose. Will we choose love, or will we choose fear? This person, the one you're thinking about, has chosen love. They have made a clear decision from deep within their heart to move beyond uncertainty, to overcome hesitation and limitations, and to choose you, to choose the feelings they hold for you. And so, I hope you will choose the same. Choose love. Place your trust in that love, and let your heart lead the way, not your fear. I'll end the reading for those of you who chose pile 1 here. If you enjoyed this message, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and show your support by liking the video. Your encouragement is a powerful motivation that helps me continue creating new content. If something in this reading touched your heart, I invite you to leave a comment or even just a small symbol to let me know the message reached you. I always look forward to reading your comments, so don't hesitate to share your thoughts. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. I look forward to seeing you again in the next readings. Hello to those of you who chose pile 2. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for everyone drawn to the second pile. I hope this message brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love and warmth. The theme of today's reading is, what is the most recent decision this person has made? First, let's take a look at the current energy between the two of you. The Happy Family card appears in reverse, alongside the Mending card. These two cards placed side by side suggest that something within the realm of family or close emotional ties is going through a period of difficulty. At first, I wasn't sure if this tension was only related to your person's family or if it included the connection between the two of you. However, with the appearance of the Indania Future card immediately afterward, it becomes clear that this is directly linked to your relationship. Their vision of the future with you is something they're taking very seriously right now. It indicates that your person is focusing a great deal of attention and hope on this connection. A card bearing the heart symbol shows that their emotional energy is pouring strongly in your direction. They are moving toward you with great determination. In fact, this reading feels almost like a letter they want to send you, as if they're using this reading itself to express the clarity of their decision. I feel strongly that the choice they've made recently isn't just an internal realization, it's an emotion they're ready to act on. They want you to know it. They want you to feel it. I've chosen. I've already decided to walk this path with you. However, it's also possible that at this moment, there are certain circumstances in the environment around the two of you, such as other relationships, family responsibilities, past commitments, or living conditions that are not going smoothly. There may be confusion, dissatisfaction, or emotional strain coming from those external factors or from relationships your person is currently managing. And yet, amidst it all, they are holding on to one unwavering truth. No matter how chaotic everything else feels, the emotions they have for you are the one thing they are absolutely certain of. Perhaps your relationship is being affected by something outside of it, a conflict, an unfavorable situation, or simply the exhaustion that accumulates from the demands of everyday life. But above it all, this person is still trying to tell you, this feeling is real. They've chosen you, and they want you to know that. This isn't just about liking or even loving someone, it's a decision. A commitment that has been deeply considered, and now they're standing in front of you, hoping you'll believe in it. Even if the circumstances are far from ideal, even if the world around them feels messy, their heart is not. That heart has already chosen you. Is this the kind of connection where the person feels that this love, this one love, must be protected at all costs? It seems so. To describe it metaphorically, it feels like a kind of emotional elopement. Forgive the old-fashioned term, but that's truly the sensation. Honestly, this person seems almost unaware of the world around them right now. It's not that they don't care about others, but rather that no matter what's happening, whether things are good or bad with the people in their life, it no longer holds the same weight. All of their attention, all of their emotions are being poured into the future between the two of you, into this connection so powerfully and intensely that it has become overwhelming. That's why, whether you or they are currently in another relationship or part of a family unit, there's still a very strong sense that both of you are leaning toward releasing everything else in order to prioritize this bond. It feels like the two of you are standing in that same space, carrying the same silent decision. Because of this, it can be said that this person is no longer paying attention to their surroundings. I sense that many of you are in situations where the bond between you and this person has grown incredibly intense and intimate. However, when tuning into their energy, a kind of emotional urgency, as if they're longing to express something, I also feel that there may be some sort of distance between the two of you, whether emotional or physical. You might not realize just how deeply they feel for you. From your side, it may seem like there's not much of a connection at all, and that's precisely why they want so badly to convey what's in their heart. It feels to me like there are two types of situations unfolding here. First, some of you are genuinely in a relationship so sweet and consuming that the rest of the world seems to fade away. And second, there are others where, though your person feels just as intensely, your experience is very different. You might be thinking there's nothing going on, or it clearly isn't like that. I believe there are some of you who feel like the current situation doesn't match what I'm describing. And yet, regardless of which circumstance you're in, this person seems to have something they urgently want you to know this time. It's as if there's something significant in their heart, something they want you to feel and truly understand. So, let's go a bit deeper into this part of the message. There's a sense that, from the very beginning of this relationship, or from the moment you began to develop feelings for this person, something may have caused disruption or tension in your other relationships. Perhaps some of you have experienced this firsthand. The Five of Pentacles appears here, representing a difficult situation, a symbol of isolation, of feeling excluded, unsupported by those around you. It's possible that because the love between the two of you is so powerful, so intense, it has created a kind of emotional isolation, a sense of being separated from the broader circle, or placed outside of a shared community. For example, perhaps you used to regularly spend time and have fun with your group of friends, but ever since your relationship with this person began to deepen, things around you have no longer flowed as smoothly as before. Gradually, your old connections may have lost the harmony they once had. Or it could be that although the love between the two of you is deep and sincere, there are obstacles, circumstances that prevent the relationship from progressing, and this leaves both of you in a state of emotional deadlock. No matter how much you want to be together, life may not be allowing it, and that is what has made things so difficult. I sense that among those of you watching this reading, some may be feeling unsupported by family, friends, or the people around you. There's a sense of facing strong headwinds, as though you're being met with resistance, disapproval, or pressure from those around you as you and this person grow closer. This connection seems to stir up energy in your environment, causing unrest, as if something about it is triggering strong reactions or gossip from others. It's possible you lost a friend when this relationship began. I feel that ever since you met this person, the dynamics of your social life may have shifted. Friends who were once close may have gradually drifted away. Or, on the other hand, it could be that this relationship led you to meet new people, building new and more positive connections. In other words, the presence of this person in your life seems to have reshaped the entire map of your relationships. And this feeling appears to be mutual. It's not just happening to you. This person may be experiencing the same thing. The two of you seem to have brought each other into entirely new chapters of life, like catalysts for transformation, each becoming a turning point in the other's journey. Because of this, the environment around you, or the goals and efforts you're pursuing, may also be going through a challenging phase. It's possible that both you and this person are facing personal struggles in your own lives. However, since this reading is focused on the connection between the two of you, I also sense that some of you are in situations where it's not easy to come together. Something seems to be preventing this relationship from unfolding in a straightforward, effortless way. This could be a special kind of bond, one that's hard to define with words, that doesn't easily progress along conventional lines, yet is incredibly deep and emotionally rich. Now, I'm going to shift into the heart of the reading, how this person currently feels about you. And I must say, I'm truly taken aback. The card that just appeared also jumped out in a different pile earlier, and the synchronicity is so overwhelming that I'm left almost speechless. This card represents preparation for marriage, or the sign of a relationship blessed by others. It also carries messages about friendship and meaningful connection. At first, I thought the two of you were already deeply in love, but with these signs, I get a different feeling. It's possible that you haven't officially started a relationship yet. Could it be that the two of you haven't clearly expressed your feelings for each other? What I feel very strongly is that this person is seriously contemplating confessing their emotions to you. It seems they've already made up their mind. The decision to speak their heart, the decision to move toward you with greater clarity and intention. That's the feeling I get. Even though we haven't yet explored the specific decision this person has made, when it comes to their current emotions toward you, I can sense that there is still a certain distance between you. This person is watching you from afar, not necessarily in terms of physical distance, but more so emotionally. It's as if you're standing in the middle of a crowd, while they remain on the outside, simply observing. They don't feel as though they truly have you, not in the sense of fully possessing your heart. And perhaps that's why the theme of surrounding relationships keeps appearing in this reading. Emotionally, there are many ways to interpret this. One of them is that when they're around you, they feel incredibly at ease. That comfort brings to mind a card with the message of friendship and ease, meaning you bring them a sense of calm, of emotional relaxation. I want to clarify that this does not mean they love you any less. It's not that their feelings for you are weak. On the contrary, they care so deeply that, at times, it becomes even harder for them to show up as their full, vulnerable self. When we love someone deeply, we often become shy about revealing our whole self, afraid of being hurt, of being judged, or of not being enough. But with you, this person feels free to be who they are, as if you were a trusted friend they can laugh and be silly with. Being near you feels like spending time with someone truly close, but at the same time, there's something within you that soothes them, brings peace, and allows them to simply exist without pretense. And so, you can understand that their love for you is not just a fleeting spark, it's rooted in deep trust. They see you as a soulmate, not just someone to love, but someone they could truly journey through life with. Because of this, even if there's still a distance between you, even if they haven't been able to fully reach you, you remain the person who brings them a sense of safety and the freedom to be their truest self. Because this is a sincere emotion, true love, and because someone like you is so rare among the countless people who could become potential romantic partners out there, you are the one who stands out and makes them feel something extraordinary. In a crowd, you shine in a way that naturally draws their gaze. That's why, when they're with you, they feel they can open up as they would with a close friend, sharing everything, enjoying moments of ease, laughter, and lightheartedness together. I get the sense that many of you watching this reading may have started your connection from a place of friendship. Or perhaps you met this person at a gathering, a celebration, an event with many people, maybe a party hosted by mutual friends where you were introduced through a shared connection. At first, they might have seen you as just another friend in the group, not necessarily someone they considered romantically. But then, at some point, perhaps recently or even a long time ago, their feelings began to shift. They no longer saw you as just a friend, but started to recognize, with clarity, that they were developing romantic feelings. You became someone they began to see as a true love interest. Because you are often surrounded by many people, friends, acquaintances, or various social circles, There is one element in your connection that seems particularly significant, whether or not this relationship is accepted and supported by those around you. It seems that external acknowledgement from friends, peers, or the wider community holds a certain weight for this person. And yet, despite that, both of you seem to be caught in such an intense emotional current that nothing else seems to matter. Your feelings for each other are rising, growing more passionate to the point where you may be unintentionally becoming isolated, so focused on one another that other connections around you are beginning to fade into the background. And if we look into the deeper layers of this person's heart, I sense that they truly care about how others perceive them. They deeply desire for this relationship to be recognized, even blessed, by those around them. They're sensitive to how your love story is viewed by others, and that brings both hope and anxiety. Because of this, even though they are in love, they still long to share experiences with you in ways that connect you both to your social circles, joining friends for group outings, participating in gatherings together. They don't want this relationship to become something that isolates the two of you from the community. They want your love to be seen, understood, and positively acknowledged by others. At the same time, they are fully aware that you hold a deeply special place in their heart, someone truly irreplaceable. Moreover, I sense that there's a quiet dream forming within them, something tender yet sincere about the future. It feels like the beginning of a wish. If only one day you could become my life partner, how wonderful that would be. It's a gentle, heartfelt thought, and if such a beautiful ending were to come true, they would hope to share that moment surrounded by their closest friends, with the people who matter most bearing witness and offering their blessings. It's possible this person has many friends, or perhaps you are the one with a wide circle of connections. It could also be that both of you belong to the same social group, perhaps within a work environment, a shared hobby space, or an academic setting. For instance, if the two of you met at work, then your mutual colleagues might be people they're mindful of as the relationship unfolds. If you're still a student, then classmates or peers from your course may be part of the broader context they're thinking about. The emotions in this reading carry a very unique tone. It reminds me of a high school love story. Everything feels pure, innocent, honest, and delicate, like the tender heart of a teenager. I don't sense the heaviness or calculation of a mature, experienced love. Instead, this feels like a youthful affection, slightly unpolished, yet incredibly sincere and sweet. It's the kind of love that stirs the heart precisely because of its gentleness and simplicity. This person has an exceptionally pure soul. The feelings they hold for you are equally clear and untainted. Not the kind of love that rushes into something physical or overly serious, but a dreamy, innocent kind of affection. To them, simply being able to talk to you, to exchange a few messages, is enough to make their heart flutter. The happiness they feel just from receiving a reply from you could last an entire day. And if, for some reason, you don't respond, they might spiral into self-doubt, worried they did something wrong, like a child who just lost something precious. This love is truly endearing and sweet. It carries more admiration than desire for possession. To this person, you are like a gentle source of healing. A card carrying the energy of relaxation appeared earlier in the reading, and that feeling is now even more apparent. When they are with you, they feel safe enough to open up, to be their true self without any need to guard their emotions. And it's not just this person, there's a strong sense that others around you feel the same. You have a presence that soothes, comforts, and uplifts those near you. You're the kind of person who is always attuned to the emotions of others, someone who instinctively knows how to calm, support, and restore those who are hurting or weary. Because of that, you've become somewhat of an idol in the eyes of many. Not in a superficial or showy way, but as someone genuinely admired and cherished by those around you. To this person, you are like a bright star shining in a sky full of people, and that brilliance makes them feel as though you are someone just out of reach. There may have been moments when they question themselves, wondering, should I even try to approach them? Am I worthy of stepping into their world? It's a kind of quiet hesitation, a self-conscious restraint rooted in the fear of bothering or disappointing you. And now, let's take a deeper look at what this person is currently going through, to better understand what's happening both in their life and within their inner world. At present, the environment and circumstances surrounding this person appear to be tense and filled with pressure. The reverse cup card alongside the Eight of Swords suggests that they are in a heavy emotional state, possibly dealing with fatigue, stress, or a sense of being trapped in a situation they find difficult to escape. There's a strong impression that this person is silently enduring something, whether it be emotional, mental, or situational, and they're trying their best to hold it together and push through. Yet, despite being in such a strained position, one thing stands out. They've made a very clear decision in their heart. Whether this is about their feelings for you, or about their work, studies, or another personal goal, there's no doubt. They've already chosen. They know what they want and they know what they are aiming for. If we speak specifically about you, then in their heart, the answer is already clear. I want to get closer to this person. But the issue is, even though the decision is firmly made within, they currently find themselves in a position where they simply cannot act on it right away. It could be that their work schedule is overwhelmingly busy, leaving them with little time or energy to nurture the connection between the two of you. Or, if this person is a student, they might be caught up in a demanding academic routine, part-time jobs, or other responsibilities that divide their attention and drain their mental space. There's also a possibility that they are tied down by something, perhaps an unresolved past relationship, or a commitment that prevents them from openly expressing their feelings for you. And in cases where this person is already in a relationship or still involved with someone else, the situation becomes even more apparent. They have feelings for you, but their current circumstances hold them back from expressing or acting on those feelings. Regardless of the specific reason, the most prominent emotion here is that this person is quietly enduring. They have desire, they have direction, but they're not yet able to bring it to life. There's a weight, an inner conflict. I can clearly sense that they're doing their best to get through each day, holding on and waiting for a moment when conditions will finally allow them to do what their heart is urging them to do. So even though their feelings for you are real and profound, they are currently in a state of being emotionally restrained, not because they lack love, but because their surrounding circumstances are too complex or not yet favorable for moving forward. I believe this is why, from the very beginning of this reading, so many signs have pointed toward external influences, relationships with others, societal acceptance, or situations that make it difficult for them to follow their heart. They genuinely want to move closer to you, but for now they can't, and that makes it hard for them to take that step toward you in this moment. So, given the current circumstances, though this person is still bound by things that prevent them from acting freely, since the reading has already made it clear that they've reached a decision, I went deeper to find out exactly what that decision is in relation to you. I drew a few more cards, and what appeared truly moved me. The true love card came out, and nothing could be clearer than that. This isn't a fleeting emotion or a passing crush. They see you as their true love, the one who stirs their heart in the deepest way. Following that was the card representing confession, a heartfelt expression of love or a sincere emotional reveal. And at the same time, the Hanged Man card appeared in reverse, meaning they are no longer stuck in a state of waiting. They're ready to act. In short, the decision they've made is this. They're going to confess their feelings to you. Or, if the two of you are already in a relationship, then this is a step forward, perhaps a proposal, a desire to move in together, to build a future side by side, or to commit to something more stable and meaningful. This is no longer a quiet feeling kept inside. It has become a silent but firm promise in their heart. I'm going to tell you everything. What makes this even more touching is the context they're currently in, under pressure, bound by circumstances, facing challenges they haven't yet overcome, and still, they've chosen you. They've decided to move forward. And here, a beautiful contrast appears in two of the cards. One shows them watching you from a distance, as though they could never reach you. The other shows two people physically connecting, touching each other with real presence. This reflects a powerful shift within them. From simply watching you from afar, they've made the decision to walk toward you and truly take your hand. This love, though it began with innocence and purity, has now matured, carrying within it a clear sense of determination. This person has chosen you, and they no longer want to stand on the sidelines, merely watching from afar. At last, those silent feelings of admiration and longing in their heart, that sense that you are something sacred and untouchable, have gradually transformed into a powerful desire to come closer, to be beside you, to truly become the one who brings happiness into your life. It's no longer a quiet hope that you'll be happy, but a bold inner declaration. I will be the one who makes you happy. Yet alongside that desire, there's also a profound sense of reverence, as though they feel you are someone divinely protected. A card representing divine guidance and spiritual protection appeared, suggesting that, in their eyes, you remain something incredibly pure and precious, someone so deeply cherished that even the idea of reaching out to you, both literally and metaphorically, comes with serious reflection on morality, right and wrong, and emotional boundaries. It's possible that something sensitive exists between you, perhaps a difference in social standing, personal circumstances, or a situation where moving toward you might be seen as crossing a line. That is why they once held back, why they kept themselves at a safe distance, as if afraid to reach for you. And yet, their feelings have grown so strong that they are now willing to face any consequences. Even if their actions might bring criticism or personal cost, they're ready to accept all of it, just for the chance to come closer to you, to truly touch you, to merge with you in the most complete way. This desire has evolved beyond admiration into a sincere yearning to connect with you, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. They long to share sweet, intimate moments with you, quiet, private times where your hearts are not only close but your presence, your bodies, and your energy are deeply intertwined. The flirt card appeared, typically associated in English with light-hearted affection, playfulness, or casual romance. But here, its meaning is entirely different. It is not about superficial attraction or fleeting desires. That's made clear by the presence of the true love card alongside it, showing that this is not a temporary want or a shallow craving. You don't need to worry. What they're feeling and moving toward is deeply sincere, serious, and rooted in a pure and wholehearted love. They don't just want to be with you as a partner. They want to be the one who touches you completely with their heart, their warmth, their body, and their soul. It's not that this person simply wants to be close to you in a physical way. Their true desire is to move closer to you in a deep, natural, and emotionally intimate manner. They want to feel more at ease in the space between you, to experience a deeper sense of closeness, both emotionally and physically. They long for connection, for touch, for presence, not just through words, but through the kind of real, tangible closeness that arises from sincere and heartfelt love. It is precisely because they are serious about you that they want to take this next step. If their feelings weren't genuine, they could have remained at a distance, simply admiring you from afar. But because they truly value you, love you, and see you as someone profoundly important, they now wish to cross that invisible boundary. Even if there are obstacles, whether circumstantial, ethical, differences in beliefs, or complexities in surrounding relationships, they no longer want those things to stand in the way. In their heart, there is now only one clear direction: to move toward you. They've made their decision, and the determination to act on it is radiating unmistakably from their energy. I also sense something else. Perhaps in this connection, you have been the one maintaining a certain distance. Maybe you've turned down physical closeness before, or perhaps you haven't felt ready to move further in the relationship. If that's the case, it's possible this person has been quietly holding back their feelings, but now they long to express what they've been containing for so long, that they deeply yearn to be close to you, to be accepted by you not only emotionally but also physically, through the shared presence of two souls who truly love each other. For them, physical intimacy is not merely about satisfying a need, it is an essential part of love. It is how they express their feelings, how they connect heart to heart, and how they build a complete, meaningful relationship. They see this as a deeply important value in love, and if you haven't fully understood this yet, they may be trying to find a way to let you know, this is something I truly need and deeply desire, because I genuinely love you. While what this person longs for might be interpreted as a desire for physical closeness, it is not about sex in the adult or complicated sense. Rather, it's a sweet and simple longing, like just wanting to touch you, to hold you, to kiss you gently. This desire comes from a place of pure and sincere emotional resonance. Of course, as the relationship deepens over time, they may also wish for a more intimate physical connection, but more than anything else, what they truly crave right now is to be closer to you, as someone they love, to cuddle, to be near, to experience the kind of affection that naturally exists between two people in love. Put simply, they really want to express their love through tender, adorable gestures, those quiet, intimate moments that still hold purity and sincerity. That's because they truly love you. And if right now, they are acting in ways that feel affectionate and physically close, and you're wondering whether those actions come from genuine seriousness or just fleeting feelings, the cards are very clear. This is real love. This person loves you, and what they are doing is not meant to play with your heart or lead you on. It is the honest expression of a heart that is deeply and sincerely in love. However, there is also another possibility reflected in the energy here. Some of you may be in a relationship where physical intimacy has come before emotional clarity. That is, the two of you have already shared physical closeness, but your feelings for each other have not been clearly defined. In such cases, it's possible that this person didn't fully understand their own emotions at first. They may have been drawn to you, swept up in the connection, captivated by the chemistry between you, and only after some time began to ask themselves, what is this relationship? What am I truly feeling? They may have felt confused, unsure of what to say, or simply not good at expressing their emotions in words. Perhaps there were half-spoken conversations between you, vague signals, tentative probing gestures where neither of you wanted to speak up first. These things may have left the relationship in a state of limbo, making it difficult to move forward. But now, as their feelings become more and more clear, it's likely that even they are starting to realize what attracted them wasn't just the physical closeness, it was you. And what they want now isn't a fleeting connection, but a real, lasting love, a deeper, more meaningful bond. There is something in this reading that particularly caught my attention, the question, what is holding this person back from coming toward you? Even though they have already made a clear decision in their heart, have chosen you, and genuinely want to take action, something still seems to be keeping them from moving forward. And when I looked more deeply into the current energy, one strong impression surfaced. Could it be that this person is carrying an old emotional wound, a kind of emotional trauma or painful memory from the past, that is preventing them from freely approaching you? I pulled a few more cards, and the image that emerged was of someone holding both a heart and a coin, symbols of love and material stability, yet being blocked by a powerful energetic barrier. At the same time, the Ten of Swords appeared, a card that speaks of pain, loss, betrayal, or emotional shock. There are two possible interpretations here. First, this person may be facing financial hardship or going through a period of instability in their work or career. Even though, in their heart, they want to offer you something meaningful, whether it's taking you out, giving you gifts, or even building a future together such as marriage, they feel they are not yet capable of giving you something truly worthy. It's not just about money. It's also the feeling of not having enough emotional space or inner peace to love fully. They believe that if they come toward you now, they won't be able to give you the complete love they hope to offer. And that belief makes them hesitate, even though their heart already wants to move closer. The second interpretation is quite the opposite. This person may actually be in a strong financial position or hold a certain social status. They could be someone well-known, someone with responsibilities to their community, or someone who carries the image of success. And because of this, they feel even more pressure when it comes to getting close to you. They may worry that entering this relationship publicly could affect their personal image, their career, or their existing social connections. They carry a certain weight of responsibility on their shoulders, which makes loving you no longer just a private matter between two people. It becomes something exposed to public scrutiny, to judgment, and possibly to obstacles beyond their control. Both of these scenarios point to the same core truth. This person is torn between desire and reality. They love you, truly. They want to offer you their heart, but at the same time, they want to offer you stability, safety, and material value, things they believe are essential for a love that can last. And yet, right now, that very desire becomes their biggest obstacle. Every time they take a step forward, they end up taking 2 steps back, even though their heart is always reaching toward you. This is why what's holding them back might be their social position or public image. This could be someone who is quite famous, influential, or in a role that draws public attention. If they were to make your relationship public, or especially if they were to consider marriage with you, it could lead to many people feeling disappointed, fans, peers, or others who hold expectations of them, as if they're betraying the persona society has projected onto them. It's also possible that this person holds substantial assets or is in a high-ranking position, such as the CEO of a major company, a business owner, or an heir to a large estate. In such cases, marriage is no longer just a matter of love between two people, but something that comes entangled with many legal and social obligations, potentially requiring prenuptial agreements, legal contracts, or close supervision by family members, attorneys, or stakeholders. In some cases, you may be in love with someone for whom making the relationship public is extremely difficult. I understand that this is not a common situation, but the energy in this reading strongly conveys the sense of a connection that cannot easily be brought into the light. This person might be a public figure or someone bound by certain social structures that prevent them from freely saying, "I'm in love," or "I want to marry this person." Additionally, there's something I feel very deeply, the fact that this is someone who carries a strong sense of responsibility. They are the kind of person who thinks things through carefully before taking any action and always considers how their choices might impact others. Because of this, even though their heart longs to express their love for you, they're holding themselves back. They're afraid that if they were to confess their feelings before they are in a position to protect and support you, it would be an irresponsible act. In particular, in some situations, This person may already have a family or be in another relationship. And even if their current situation is emotionally exhausting and filled with frustration, they cannot simply walk away from the responsibilities they've taken on. They are tired, hurting, and yearning to move toward you, the one who brings them light and comfort, but they also know that they cannot abandon what they've built in a selfish way. They cannot turn their back on the commitments they once made. This is the deepest and most painful inner conflict they are facing. In summary, this person loves you. That much is true. But they are also carrying the weight of immense responsibility, countless watchful eyes, and numerous obligations. Because of this, even though their heart wants to come closer to you, they are quietly waiting for a more suitable time, a moment when they can be with you without carrying the burden of guilt or causing harm to anyone else. This is someone with a heart full of love, but also full of reason, and that is both beautiful and heartbreaking. I sense that within this connection, there is something that resembles a wound from the past, a kind of emotional trauma or painful memory that makes this person cautious and hesitant when it comes to stepping closer to you. If they're someone with a public position or a degree of fame, it's very likely that they have previously experienced a relationship that was exposed, where their private life became the subject of public discussion. That experience may have caused hurt, not only to themselves and their partner, but to those around them as well. Having once gone through the pain of losing control over their personal life and witnessing someone they loved being swept into the harsh currents of public opinion, they now find themselves gripped by an invisible brake when it comes to you, the person they truly want to be with. They are afraid that if this relationship were to be made public, you too might be hurt, just like the one before. That fear holds them back, making it impossible for them to act with ease or spontaneity. It's also possible that in the past, they began a relationship while they themselves were in an unstable place, emotionally, professionally, or personally. And that very instability may have made the relationship exhausting or led to its unfortunate end, perhaps even causing the other person to grow distant or resentful. That experience taught them a valuable lesson. If they are not yet grounded, not yet fully responsible for their own well-being, they should not pull someone else into their world. And so now, even though their heart longs to come closer to you, their mind is still filled with hesitation and concern. They fear that if they once again enter into a relationship while still unsteady, they might end up hurting someone they cannot afford to lose, that someone being you. Still, the reading is very clear in showing that this person is gradually moving toward taking action. Despite the fear, the memories, and the reluctance, the current energy reveals that they have already made a decision in their heart to step forward. They no longer wish to stand still, paralyzed by the ghosts of the past. They have come to realize that you are not someone they can afford to lose, not someone they can let slip away because of what once was. And when I continued pulling cards to see what lies ahead, I was genuinely moved. The energy that emerged was so powerful it made me gasp out loud. What's coming is truly something to look forward to. This is not just a sign of clear action, but a profound shift in the dynamics of this relationship, something this person has been quietly preparing for all along. Truly, the energy in this part of the reading is overwhelmingly strong, to the point where I can only say, this is the work of the divine. This reading for this particular group is extraordinary. It feels as though an invisible hand is guiding everything into place. I don't use the word divine lightly, but this time, the energy radiating from the cards is genuinely beyond the ordinary. First of all, the cards indicate that within the next 12 weeks or 12 months, there will be a swift and significant approach between you and this person, like a powerful current flowing directly toward you. There is a strong possibility that a confession of love will be expressed during this time, perhaps even very soon. The heart card appears, signifying that this person can no longer suppress their emotions. Regardless of the circumstances or obstacles, they are now ready to open up and reveal what's in their heart. I can feel very clearly that the silent decision they've already made is about to transform into concrete action. Additionally, the wish fulfillment card appears, a beautiful sign that the future between the two of you is bright and full of hope. The cards of renewal and restoration are also present, indicating that this is not only a turning point, but a deep emotional rebirth, a moment of refreshing and reconnecting both hearts. If there has been distance or things left unsaid, those feelings will soon be brought into the light. However, the Clouds card also shows up, symbolizing confusion or interference from external sources such as other people, circumstances, or public opinion. Yet, at the same time, the Lucky Opportunity card appears, showing that divine timing is on your side. Even if there are gray winds blowing from outside, The support of the universe and the hand of fate are creating a path for you and this person to come closer together. To summarize, what I feel very clearly is this person will take action. In some cases, they may come forward and confess their feelings to you very soon. But even if that doesn't happen right away, the decision has already been made in their heart, firmly and irreversibly. And within the next 12 weeks to 12 months, you will begin to see movement beneath the surface, subtle gestures, clear signals, and intentional steps they take toward you. Even if the words haven't been spoken yet, their heart has already chosen you. And the entire universe is quietly shifting to support that choice and bring it into reality. With that, the next message is truly beautiful. The universe is on your side. Now that this person has made their inner decision and started to act on it, divine support will begin to show itself. You may start to experience moments of synchronicity, miraculous coincidences, unexpected encounters, or seemingly random events that gently guide the two of you closer together. All of these are signs that the universe is working in your favor. More than that, you will begin to feel the emotional connection between the two of you becoming more tangible, more undeniable. There may even be people around you, friends, colleagues, or even unexpected allies, who start to support or create opportunities for the two of you to grow closer. This is a phase that feels like a bonus round in a game, a cosmic reward for the sincerity both of you have been carrying in your hearts. It's a time when everything begins to align so that your love can flourish with greater ease, as if the universe is offering its blessing to a bond it knows is true. However, the clouds card also appears, and this signals the presence of external disruptions. These may come in the form of negative words from outsiders, unnecessary interference, or even invisible energies that seem to be trying to wedge themselves between the two of you. There could be people expressing disapproval, casting doubt, or offering unsolicited opinions about this relationship. And yet, the interesting thing is, those seemingly negative elements actually become catalysts that bring the two of you closer together. The reading shows this clearly. External interference will not divide you. On the contrary, it will only make your bond stronger. Those who try to stop you, the unkind words, the jealousy, all of it carries an energy that does not match the frequency of the love between you. When these things appear, they simply cannot remain. They dissolve, leaving behind a love that is even more intense, more certain, and more tightly woven. Some relationships shine brightest when challenged, when forbidden, when tested, and the connection between you and this person carries that exact quality. Rest assured, nothing can separate you when the love has truly ripened. The clouds will come and go, but the sky beyond them always belongs to the two of you. This is not merely a love story. It is a testament to the strength of two souls that have found each other. The appearance of the Hermit card brings a profound realization. All the chaos and negativity you sense from the outside are, in fact, reflections of your own inner state. Even if you hear unpleasant things about this person, harmful rumors, or recall words they once said that hurt or made you doubt them, those are all projections of your own inner insecurity. For instance, if you've doubted this person before, if you've felt anxious about whether the relationship has a future, if you've ever wondered whether you should walk away, those inner fears are what the universe mirrors back to you through the people or situations that shake your faith. In truth, no one is truly opposing your love. The real question is, have you fully allowed yourself to believe in this love? Or are you unconsciously building emotional walls because you're afraid that if you believe too much, you might end up getting hurt? The universe is gently reminding you that the things which make you feel hurt, anxious, or doubtful are, in truth, reflections projected from the uncertain corners of your own inner world. They are not real. They are challenges meant to help you recognize yourself more clearly. This is true of all love. When you love someone deeply, there will always be an accompanying fear of losing them, of not being enough, of the future not turning out the way you hope. This is the nature of the human heart, entirely natural, entirely normal. It does not mean you are weak, negative, or lacking faith. It means you are undergoing a process of emotional growth. And everyone who loves truly will go through this phase. So, what should you do when faced with such thoughts? Remember this: when love is sincere and strong enough, even fear can be transformed into light. You are standing at the threshold of an emotional rebirth, a moment of transformation. These inner uncertainties are not your downfall, but the stepping stones that will help you shed old layers and emerge as a stronger, more grounded version of yourself in love. You don't need to fight these negative emotions. Instead, look them in the eye. Accept them as a natural part of your journey through love. When you do that, you will no longer be ruled by them. You'll begin to see more clearly the love that is waiting for you ahead, a love that is real, steadily growing each day, and preparing to blossom at the perfect moment. Try to view this relationship from a broader perspective. Meeting this person, and the way your connection is beginning to deepen, as I mentioned earlier, is not just a simple romance. This is a transformative, awakening bond. A relationship that has the power to completely change both of your lives. This is a journey of elevation, a true soul ascension. Meeting this person marks a profound and unmistakable turning point in your life. It's not just about love, it's about transformation on every level: how you live, how you think, the values you choose, and the direction your future begins to take. This relationship doesn't just ask you to confront your emotions, it asks you to confront your entire existence and inner world. That's why, as you fall in love with this person, you may begin to feel anxiety in many other areas, not just in love. Concerns about your sense of self, your future, your family, your career, they may all rise to the surface at once. Even if you trust this person, you might still find it difficult to move forward, simply because you're now in a phase where your inner world and external reality are being brought into the light, to be examined, to be healed, and to be changed. And when you feel anxious, confused, or unsure of which path to take, that is not wrong, not a weakness, and certainly not a flaw. On the contrary, it's a sign that you're about to step into a greater, deeper, and more authentic version of yourself. The inner turbulence and emotional intensity you are experiencing are not signs of collapse. They are the very evidence that you are approaching a new threshold, a doorway into the next stage of your personal evolution. There is a strong possibility that both of your lives will begin to transform in parallel. This relationship is not simply about meeting and falling in love. It is a dual transformation, where both you and this person will undergo significant changes in your lives, unfolding in sync with the growth of your connection. And because transformation is never easy, it is completely natural to feel anxious, uncertain, or overwhelmed. Don't fear those emotions. Embrace them as part of the journey you are walking through. Because what awaits you is not only love, but a new life, a new version of yourself, stronger, deeper, and truly aligned with the voice of your own heart. The Ancestors card has appeared, along with the energy of past lives. This indicates that the connection between you and this person is not limited to the present lifetime. It's a soul bond that stretches across space and time, rooted in lifetimes before this one. What's even more significant is that this relationship marks the beginning of something truly important. It is not merely a personal love story, but a gateway that leads you to the true color of your life, your authentic self, your true vocation, your soul's mission. I can feel this clearly. Meeting this person will awaken talents, abilities, and inner truths that may have remained dormant within you until now. And it's not just you. This awakening will likely happen for them as well. This meeting acts as a catalyst, activating both of your souls and opening a new chapter in your spiritual evolution. Your gifts will begin to unfold, and you may finally start living in alignment with what your heart has always longed for. That alignment will lead you to true abundance, not only spiritually, but also materially. You may discover a new career path or launch a personal project that is deeply meaningful and has long-term value, not just for you, but for your community and perhaps even the world around you. This energy carries an even deeper message. You may be entering a phase where you are completing a soul promise made in a past life. Perhaps there was something you were unable to fulfill before, a dream, a love, a mission, and this lifetime is your opportunity to return and complete it. Your meeting with this person and everything that is now unfolding around this relationship is not a coincidence. It is part of a soul plan written long before you were born. And this person, they may be the one destined to walk alongside you in fulfilling that purpose. They might be the one holding the key to the door you've been searching for. Simply by encountering them, a part of your consciousness may awaken. Because of them, you may begin to see life differently, begin to take action, begin to step onto the path that is truly yours. There is something else of great significance. The ancestors of both of you are watching over this connection and offering their silent blessing. I feel a strong sense that your families, lineages, or even past lives have intersected before. It may not be something easily identified with logic or traced through ancestral records, but your souls have known each other. There was a promise, an agreement, and now the time has come for that circle to close, or to be completed in a new way. This love is not just a relationship, it is a soul reunion. A meeting of two souls who once made a vow to return to one another, to finish what they once could not. And you are now standing at the threshold of that sacred doorway, not only to find love, but to find yourself. It is very likely that you and this person have met in order to fulfill a piece of ancestral karma or to complete soul contracts that have existed long before either of you arrived in this lifetime. The energy surrounding your connection clearly shows the guidance of the unseen world, of divine forces, ancestors, and spiritual beings who are silently supporting this sacred reunion. The presence of keywords such as ascension and spiritual elevation are powerful affirmations of this truth. You may be a starseed, a soul that originated from another star system, sent to Earth with a special mission. In this lifetime, you have been gifted with abilities, talents, and profound sensitivity, not by chance, but as part of a role your soul chose long before your incarnation. But in order to awaken that mission, to activate your true potential, you need to meet the one who holds the key, and that person is the one you've been thinking about. Meeting them acts as a trigger, an activation mechanism. The doors within you that once seemed sealed begin to open. What was once vague becomes clear. Dreams that once felt distant suddenly feel possible. And not only for you, this person will experience the same. The relationship between you is not merely romantic love. It is a spiritual connection, a soul-level awakening, a path that leads both of you to your true essence and sacred purpose. This is why this connection holds the power to help both of you remember the real reason you came to Earth, and to begin walking that path together. You may soon find yourselves entering a new journey, one where your deepest hopes, longings, and visions are nurtured and brought into reality. You are two souls capable of lifting each other higher, rising together like a swirling current of light, moving beyond the limitations of the past and ascending into the brilliance of spiritual awakening. Moreover, the ring card has appeared, a beautiful omen of lasting union. It is a symbol of commitment, marriage, sacred vows, and bonds that cannot be broken. For those already in a relationship, this is a very clear sign that the connection may evolve into marriage. For those who have not yet begun, this is a powerful indication that this person could be your life partner, someone who will walk with you through both love and spiritual evolution. In other words, the relationship between you is a sacred union of love, mission, and ascension. And as the two of you move toward one another, the universe will begin to open doors that once seemed impossible because the universe knows the two of you came here to create change, not only for yourselves, but for the world. That's why it feels like the decision this person has made this time is truly significant. In the past, the obstacle may have been money, but now that barrier has been removed. The decision could very well involve marriage, or, if not marriage in the legal sense, then at least a serious, long-term partnership. Even if it isn't formally called marriage, this person has already made it clear in their heart that they want to walk alongside you in the journey ahead. This is a choice that has already been made. It could also be a confession of love. The image of a ring appeared in the reading, and rings are not only used in weddings, but are also given at the beginning of serious relationships. So, in some cases, this may simply be a confession, not a casual proposal, but a heartfelt expression carrying the intention to build a serious, future-oriented relationship with you, one that could very well lead to marriage. I sense a powerful wave of energy approaching, like a strong and unmistakable current. This may be because once the two of you met, the things you've both been working toward in your individual lives also began to move forward more smoothly. As the future becomes clearer, there's a sense of relief, of mental space opening up, and that emotional lightness is exactly what allowed this person to make such a significant decision. It feels as though everything will start to take more tangible shape around 6 months from now. In other words, there are two groups of people here. Some of you may receive a confession of love very soon, while others will likely experience a confession or even a proposal about 6 months from now. And if you're someone who receives a proposal around this time, then it's very possible that 6 months later, the two of you will be moving into the phase of officially registering your marriage or taking steps toward formal union. The idea of living together or deepening the commitment between you and this person is still being delayed, most likely due to their current financial situation or other obstacles that make them feel unable to act. It's as if they are being held back, unable to move forward. So, what will be the turning point that allows them to finally take action and actively move toward you? Let's take a closer look. Perhaps the most important factor is the decision itself. Once this person makes a serious and heartfelt decision, everything begins to open up. Because the connection between you is guided by unseen forces, supported by sacred realms. When the decision is made, a flow of unexpected opportunities, serendipitous moments, and open doors will begin to appear, allowing the two of you to come closer. The flow of energy will shift, and movement will begin to happen. The Rebirth card has appeared, and it clearly points to a connection involving past lives. I strongly sense that you and this person have been bonded in a previous lifetime, but that connection may have ended unfinished or didn't come to fulfillment. Now you're being given a second chance to return, to rewrite, to continue the story that was left incomplete. This is not just about a new relationship. It is a journey of healing, of completion, of resolving what once remained undone. That's why, for some of you listening to this reading, this could be a case of reconciliation, either with someone from the past returning or a previously broken connection now being restored. I have asked myself, what will make this person take action? And the answer is rebirth. Something will occur that restores and revitalizes the flow of energy that was once interrupted. For example, if this person is currently struggling in their work or career, an opportunity will arise to uplift them, helping to restore their confidence, finances, or life inspiration. Because of that, they will be able to move toward you. Or suppose they have carried deep wounds or painful memories that have kept them closed off and unable to act, then you will be the one who helps them heal and be reborn. Being with you allows them to rediscover the feeling of truly living, hoping, and trusting. From there, they will step closer to you. That is why the old wounds and past hurts that have haunted this person will gradually fade away. Because you are their light of hope. It is your light that sparks their rebirth, helping them to live again, both spiritually and emotionally. You are indispensable in their journey of recovery. For this person, your presence is essential. And of course, being someone's indispensable person can make you feel warm inside, but it may also bring worry, right? The fear that one day, when they become strong enough, achieve their dreams, find the job they desire, and truly succeed, will you still be needed? Will you be forgotten? If you have any worries like that, let me assure you, absolutely not. After meeting you, this person is no longer the same as before. They have become someone who cannot maintain balance without you. They have entered a state where you are indispensable to them. I sense a gentle but profound dependence, not a negative dependence but a deep attachment, a feeling that without you, they would lose their anchor, their guiding light. Therefore, your necessity to this person is not merely about being present during their moments of weakness. It is a lasting need, deeply embedded in their emotions, as if you have become a part of them. Right now, this person has truly made a decision in their heart. They want to live with you, to journey alongside you through the times ahead. When they say you are essential, it does not imply negativity or blind dependence. Rather, it affirms that you are an irreplaceable part of their life from now on. To be needed, in the most positive sense, is to be someone they wish to have in their life forever. In other words, this person's inner decision has already been made. They want to be with you, to walk together, and their vision of the future is clear. They want you by their side. Always. I just saw the image of a crystal heart, and I feel strongly that their heart is incredibly fragile. Though they may appear calm on the surface, deep within they are very vulnerable. They are like a young boy or girl who still carries a tender, sensitive heart, easily hurt by emotions and feelings. That is why, even though their feelings for you are swelling and unmistakable, there remains a fear inside, the fear of being hurt, the fear that expressing their emotions might not be received as they hope. In other words, although they have made a clear decision in their heart to be with you, turning that decision into concrete action, such as confessing their love, making an official proposal, or suggesting a deeper commitment, still requires gentle encouragement and a little motivation from you. So, the question arises, how should you treat this person to help them feel safe and more comfortable expressing their feelings? Let's delve into this and also listen directly to the message they want to send you, their hopes and expectations of you. The cards that have appeared are protection, boundaries, and check-up self-reflection. From these, one thing becomes very clear. This is their message to you. I want you to understand something about me. I am incredibly sensitive and easily hurt. Because of that, I often unconsciously create a distance in my relationships. For example, we might have had a very warm and close conversation one day, but the next day, when we meet again, I suddenly become tense, unsure how to behave, and might even speak formally or keep a distance as if there is an invisible wall between us. The truth is, I really want to hold your hand right away. I want to tell you that I love you deeply. But somehow, it feels like there's a thin veil that comes between us, causing me to create that space. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's because I'm naturally shy, easily embarrassed, and prone to feeling awkward. And I think this isn't just with you. Sometimes I act this way unintentionally with friends or people around me too. However, when I'm with you, I can't behave normally. With others, I can maintain a relaxed exterior. But with you, I simply can't. Because my feelings for you are so genuine, so deep, I don't know how to express them naturally. Therefore, what I hope you understand about me is this. I am not someone who can easily open my heart completely to others. Even though I trust you deeply, I have always had a tendency to build up a protective shell around myself. Because of that, there will be moments when I unintentionally close off, even with you. It's not because I don't trust you, but because I'm still not used to letting anyone truly enter the depths of my soul. If you can understand this, I would be very grateful. I'm truly not trying to create distance. It's just part of my nature. And because I am so sensitive, I also hope you will think carefully before speaking to me. Sometimes, even without meaning any harm, your words might unintentionally hurt me. When that happens, I instinctively retreat further into my shell as a way to protect myself. I am deeply affected by what you say because you are special to me. And precisely because of that specialness, I am easily moved and easily hurt. If you ever notice me suddenly becoming distant, silent, or closed off, it's not because I want to push you away. It's because I'm trying to hold on to my feelings and struggle to express what I'm experiencing. Just understanding this means the world to me. It touches me deeply. When I am with you, those moments bring me profound healing. You make me feel light and peaceful inside. More than that, your presence and gentle nature revive my spirit and restore my energy. The warm and loving words you offer have tremendous power. They open my heart, make me feel safe, and allow me to be my true self without needing to guard myself. However, it can be said that this person is a little bit selfish in a charming way. They don't want to hear blame or harsh words. Instead, they deeply long for gentle words filled with love from you. When you encourage and uplift them with your warmth, they feel incredibly happy. In those moments, their heart feels comforted, healed from deep within. That is their true joy. So, treat this person with tenderness and subtlety. Though at first they may seem bold and strong, deep inside lies a fragile crystal heart, easily shattered. If you remember this and gently touch that sensitive part of them, your relationship will become very special. You could be the only one able to enter the inner world they've always tried to keep hidden. When they need space, you don't have to cling or try to break through that shell. Let them have some distance, but still send warm words from your side, so they know you're still there, still present, still ready to embrace them. If sometimes you feel they suddenly become distant, cold, or behave in a reserved or unfamiliar way, it's not because they hate you. It's simply because they are confused, shy, or embarrassed. In reality, it is a sign that they are overwhelmed with emotions for you and don't know how to act appropriately. That's why in those moments, you need to be even more patient, gentle, and tactful. This is a person with a very special heart, a heart that is fragile but sincere. And you, the one they choose to open up to, are the one capable of soothing, healing, and helping that heart gradually mature. Therefore, perhaps you should take the initiative to show physical closeness, like hugging them, gently stroking their hair, saying affectionate words such as "I love you so much" or "You're so adorable." That gentle, tender approach from you will make this fragile heart feel much more loved and safe. And you know what? When you take the initiative to do these things, never think that you are losing out or becoming the weaker one in love. Perhaps in the past, you experienced relationships where being proactive was seen as a sign of weakness or less value. But with this person, it's completely different. Here, your initiative is not a disadvantage. It is genuinely necessary for the relationship to move forward. This person is very cautious and reserved in matters of the heart. Even though their feelings for you are deep, they find it difficult to openly express or actively approach you. As mentioned before, you are the light in their life. But for that light to reach their heart, you need to be the one to shine it. That doesn't mean you have to be the one to confess or carry all the responsibility in the relationship. Simply show them that you truly care, truly cherish them, and genuinely want to be close. If you don't open up that energy first, this person might never dare to take the step forward because they fear rejection, fear getting hurt, and fear crossing their own safety boundaries. Therefore, be a little more proactive, invite them out, send messages first, check in, and create opportunities to meet. This person may not easily be the one to initiate plans or suggest meeting up. not because they don't want to, but because they tend to put up barriers for themselves. You possess warm, friendly, and approachable energy, and that will be the key to opening the door to your connection. If you can approach them gently and naturally, little by little they will start to step out of their shell, and the relationship will progress in a sincere and profound way. It seems that this person has so much they want to say to you, but simply cannot express it. I believe this largely stems from their innate personality. Therefore, if after this reading you feel you understand them better, perhaps you will also feel more at ease opening your heart to them. I truly believe this is someone you can fully trust to enter into a deep and stable relationship with. This reading is truly very special and full of energy. I can only say, congratulations. The decision this person has made this time is clear and strong. What's especially remarkable is that from the very beginning, the emotional energy from their side has been intense. I believe that somewhere deep inside you have already sensed this. And today, the reading is here to confirm that feeling for you. So, trust your emotions and intuition. You can completely believe in the love they have for you. Once again, congratulations from the bottom of my heart. I will now close the reading for Group 2 here. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to support me. Your encouragement is a huge motivation for me to continue bringing meaningful readings. If anything in today's messages touched your heart, please leave a comment or simply a small emoji so I know it truly connected with you. I always appreciate every share and look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next readings. Hello, Pile 3. Thank you for waiting. Now I will begin the reading for those of you who chose the third pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, new insights, and moments filled with love. Today's theme is, what decision has your person recently made? But first, I want to dive into the current state of your relationship to see what is unfolding between you right now. The first card that appears is the root chakra, in a reverse position. Following that is the Angel of Peace, also reversed. This truly caught my attention. Both cards relate to foundational and emotional energy centers, and both appearing reverse signals a significant energetic imbalance between you. The moment I drew the cards, a clear impression came to me. Recently, there may have been an argument between you, or at least some disagreement, misunderstanding, or a feeling of being out of sync. Perhaps you had a conversation that left both of you feeling disappointed or hurt to some degree. However, I also sense that after these clashes, the relationship tends to deepen in connection, much like the saying, after the rain, the earth grows firmer. It could be that through those difficult emotions, you both realized just how important you truly are to each other. Still, the energy of the heart remains somewhat unsettled. The heart chakra, the center of emotions, is reversed, indicating that the heart may be wounded and not fully open yet. And the root chakra, representing stability, attachment, and a sense of safety, is also reversed, suggesting that one or both of you might be feeling lost, lacking trust, or sensing that the relationship is no longer as secure as before. Overall, it seems that something has recently happened between you. Not something too big, but enough to shake the foundation and emotions of the relationship. It could be an event that caused one person to lose trust, to feel hopeless compared to before, to feel tired and lacking the motivation to continue maintaining the relationship as it once was. And because of that, the imbalance I see in the cards has emerged. However, this is not the conclusion yet. We will continue to delve deeper to explore what has led your person to make a recent decision and what that means for your relationship. Still, I sense that although recent events may have been unpleasant, in the end, perhaps they were necessary. In some way, both of you may look back and say, yes, if that hadn't happened, maybe we wouldn't understand each other as well as we do now. Or perhaps this person, or even you, have just experienced something difficult in work, social relationships, or personal growth efforts. Something that caused pain, loss of spirit, or exhaustion. And in those circumstances, the other person may have played the role of listener, supporter, companion, or simply a quiet source of encouragement. Perhaps you are the one who is there, offering warmth just when they needed it most. Despite all the turbulence, the two of you still share a very strong emotional bond, a kind of love that may not be flashy, but is deeply present and clear. It's also possible that your relationship has not yet fully healed after a recent conflict, argument, or disagreement. Even if there have been no formal apologies or reconciliations, the reading shows that what's happening is essentially a challenge set by the universe, a test of the bond between you. The reversed appearance of two chakras, one connected to the heart and the other to the root, indicates that both of you are experiencing strong emotional turbulence. It's even possible that one of you is facing physical issues such as fatigue, insomnia, headaches, or exhaustion, or at least going through a period of inner instability. In short, despite the discomfort, I sense that this phase is necessary to help you both understand each other more deeply, connect more closely at heart, and from there build a truly profound bond. However, I do not feel that what's happening is too serious or alarming. The presence of the Angel of Strength card, a symbol of resilience, steadiness, and inner power, gives me confidence that even if the current situation is somewhat difficult, it will ultimately become something you can look back on with a smile. Like saying, it was confusing at the time, but now I see it was just a small challenge. If you are in a relationship that involves distance, such as long-distance love or one complicated by family, work, or living circumstances, then this may be a time for both of you to pause and reflect on your feelings. This is not a moment for rushed actions, but for looking deeply into each other's hearts and asking, how do I truly want to be connected? How should we continue this relationship in a way that leads toward a lasting future? I also sense that for those of you whose relationship is deepening, the more love grows, the more you begin to notice things that make you uneasy. This is because as feelings intensify, people start to see not just with their hearts but also with their eyes, and imperfections in the other person become more apparent. Perhaps some of you are starting to feel, I truly love this person, but there are things about them that make me feel unsettled or worried. If you and this person have not officially begun a relationship yet, you might be in a phase where the connection between you is formed but remains unclear. Maybe recently, you haven't had many opportunities to meet or interact as much as before, and the conversations you once shared have faded. Even though deep down you sense something very special and destined about this connection, you might start to feel confused. Is this love worth pursuing? Am I loving something hopeless? Does this person still think of me? Is there a future for this relationship? All those worries and doubts, whether big or small, may be quietly simmering inside you right now. But the energy from the cards shows that you are not alone in these feelings. It's possible the other person is asking themselves similar questions, and this period of silence is a necessary pause for both of you to reflect deeply on your hearts. That's why, no matter what stage your connection is in, you've always had a strong sense that this person is special, someone with whom you share a mysterious bond, as if there's destiny involved, as if you've known each other before. Whether you and this person are lovers, close friends, or simply in the early stages of getting to know each other, that feeling remains powerful, a sense of an invisible, yet very real, thread connecting the two of you. However, I also sense something else. It's possible that you feel like just one more element is needed for things to be complete. It's as if you already have 3 solid pillars in place, but in order to build a fully formed roof, you still need one final support. You feel you almost have it all: love, connection, understanding, but something still seems to be missing. Perhaps it's a clear commitment, a specific confession of feelings, or an action that proves this love is truly serious. That feeling that only one small piece is missing is strongly present in the energy of this reading. Now, let's take a look at the cards reflecting this person's true feelings for you at this moment. The first card drawn is Forgiveness, indicating that there may have been an argument, a misunderstanding, or something that caused hurt between the two of you. This person may be carrying a sense of regret, a lingering guilt over what happened. Deep down, they hope you can forgive them, or perhaps they're trying to forgive themselves for not having acted better. Next is the Friendship card. This suggests that the bond between you and this person is built on a truly special foundation. Whether or not you are officially lovers, or even if you've been together for a long time, their feelings for you go far beyond mere romance. There's a deep sense of familiarity, of companionship, of soul-level connection. For many of you watching this reading, I feel that this person sees you as someone irreplaceable, like family, regardless of how the relationship is labeled on the surface. The next card, Be Assertive, indicates that this person is currently feeling a strong urge to take action, to clarify something with you. However, at the same time, they're carrying a sense of regret, wishing they had done so sooner. It's as if they've finally come to realize your true worth, but only after some delay. They want to be proactive in expressing their feelings, yet something is holding them back, perhaps guilt or a fear of losing you once again. Overall, their emotions for you go far beyond romantic love. This is a bond that transcends the boundaries of typical affection and leans into something deeper, like the connection between family members. I can clearly sense one thing. This person sees you as a place to return to, someone they can rely on, trust, and share life's joys and sorrows with, like a life partner, a loved one, a a soul companion. So if you too feel that sense of attachment, that peace, that mutual understanding, that indescribable something, then perhaps you're right. This is not a fleeting relationship. This is a rare connection. A bond that, even if one piece is still missing for now, remains strong enough at the soul level to keep both of you close. That's why the energy between you at this moment feels like the bond between family or true life companions. Although many heart-related cards, symbols of love, have appeared in this reading, they don't reflect fleeting passion or temporary emotions. Instead, they point to a love that has been softened, ripened, and brought to a place of steady calm. The love in this connection is not lacking, but it is no longer the kind of fiery passion that flares up quickly and fades just as fast. Instead, it is a kind of love that endures through ups and downs, that doesn't vanish even in times of distance, and that doesn't fade even when it's not often expressed outwardly. It is a feeling that has become a solid part of the soul. This person is looking toward the future between you with a genuinely positive outlook. They have a desire to move forward, to come closer to you, to build something lasting. And they truly trust you, deeply and steadily, not just as a romantic partner, but as a companion, a confidant. In their eyes, you are someone they would call a soulmate. That's why, from your side, you may sometimes feel they don't express their emotions often, or that they rarely say words of affection, which makes you wonder whether their love is still strong. But what I sense is that this person feels completely secure in your connection. They believe you already know how much they love you, so they don't feel the need to keep saying it again and again. To them, you are already theirs, you are already a part of their life, and that truth doesn't need constant repetition. And if the two of you are still in the stage of being friends, then it's very likely that this person is preparing to speak up, to take the relationship into a deeper phase. There is a clear feeling that they want to begin a new chapter with you, no longer just as friends, but as something more, something closer. However, the forgiveness card is still present, indicating that there was something unresolved between the two of you. It might have been a misunderstanding, a careless word, or an action that was never fully explained, and this person is now carrying a deep desire to be forgiven by you, or is quietly blaming themselves for not having treated you better. Looking at the bigger picture, I sense that many of you watching this reading have likely been with this person for quite some time. And this bond, while perhaps no longer burning with the intensity it once had, has been transforming into something deeper and more enduring. It is a kind of love that has moved beyond demands and expectations, becoming a quiet, steady presence in each person's soul. And if you can feel that too, then believe this. This connection is anything but ordinary. It is growing in depth, and you can absolutely trust in this journey. There is a clear sense that this person feels truly at peace when they think of you. Even though the forgiveness card appears, the accompanying energy does not feel heavy or dark. Instead, it carries a sense of relief, as if they are being comforted simply by your presence. It's as though they feel, as long as you are there, they will always have a place to return to. And yet, at the same time, I also feel a deep sense of remorse within them. If there were arguments or misunderstandings between you, this person is sincerely blaming themselves. They feel weak, not good enough, unworthy. They're saying to themselves, "Why did I behave that way? I truly failed. I'm not deserving of that person." In this reading, there are two strength cards, one upright and one reversed. This shows a clear internal struggle within them. On the outside, they may be trying to appear fine, but deep inside, they are in a state of instability and self-doubt. Even if there hasn't been any conflict between the two of you, it's still very likely that this person is blaming themselves for things happening in their own life, such as failures at work, pressure in their studies, or a sense of helplessness when facing personal challenges. They feel they are not strong enough, not living up to expectations, and this, in turn, shakes their self-esteem. When looking at the next card, this feeling becomes even clearer. They feel they are not good enough, not worthy of standing beside you, someone who, in their eyes, shines brightly, stands out, and is loved by many. They admire you, even revere you to some extent. And because of that, they fear they can't give you what you truly deserve. I sense that this person genuinely wants to come closer to you, genuinely wants to move toward you, but they're held back by feelings of inadequacy, by the fear that they might disappoint you. If the two of you have been together for a long time, they may feel a quiet sense of relief in believing you've already seen the imperfect sides of them, and yet, you've chosen to stay. Still, it's clear that they are in a mentally unstable state, a feeling of being abandoned by their own self-confidence. They may be going through a period where their belief in themselves has become fragile, and as a result, their actions are becoming more hesitant, more withdrawn. Right now, what matters most is not urging them to act or to express their feelings more clearly, but letting them know that you accept their true self, even the parts they feel ashamed of, the parts they consider incomplete. And as long as you continue to be there, gently and steadily present, that alone is already the greatest healing they could receive at this moment. So, when looking at the 3 previous cards, I can clearly feel that this person is truly opening their heart to you. They are revealing their weaknesses, their imperfect sides, but only to you. This shows that you are someone they trust deeply, someone with whom they feel they don't need to hide, don't need to pretend to be strong. And as I look deeper into their current state, it feels like they've recently gone through something in life that made them feel powerless, perhaps a failure, or a regret they couldn't avoid. Yet, what's remarkable is that when I asked about their true feelings for you, 2 powerful cards appeared, the Lovers and the Ten of Cups, cards that represent profound romantic connection and the ideal of lasting happiness in love, marriage, and family. These are incredibly positive and beautiful cards, representing a love that is not fleeting, but one that they truly wish to hold on to for the long term. For those of you who are not yet officially together, this indicates that this person genuinely wants to be by your side, to begin a serious, committed relationship. And if you already share a strong bond, they wish to take things even further, such as marriage, building a home, a family with you. However, what I feel very strongly is this. Even though they genuinely desire all of that, they are not allowing themselves to believe they deserve it. The Recovery card appears as a sign that this person is in a process of healing. They might be recovering from an old wound, a psychological scar, or a part of their past that makes them feel unworthy of complete happiness. Deep down, it seems that this person truly longs to share a life with you, to love and be loved fully, to call you their family. But at the same time, they struggle to believe they are good enough to keep you by their side. Whether it's because of their past, a mistake they made, or a lingering sense of insecurity, they carry this belief that this love is too beautiful and that they themselves are not enough to deserve it. So instead of approaching you with confidence, they come to you with a hesitant gaze, with a heart full of doubt. But their feelings are anything but insincere. On the contrary, they are real, deep, and profoundly serious. If you can also feel this, if you can see in them a genuine affection, even if clumsy, a quiet care, even if not yet clearly expressed, then perhaps what you need right now is gentle patience and silent presence. Because to this person, you are not just someone they love. You are the one who makes them believe that healing is possible, that they can start over, and that true happiness is something they can still dream of. For instance, in the past, this person may have gone through deep emotional wounds in relationships, perhaps in friendships, romantic connections, or even in marriage. They might be carrying a heavy psychological scar, one that drained them of their faith or hope in love or the idea of a lifelong partnership. That's why they often feel like they don't have much to offer, like they lack the strength or the ability to bring happiness to someone else, specifically to you. Deep inside, they truly long to love you, and to give you something beautiful. But at the same time, they are torn by a painful inner voice. Can I really do this? Can I truly be someone worthy of standing beside you? This sense of helplessness has created a powerful inner struggle within them. This is also why the Friendship card carries multiple layers of meaning. It could be that at some point, they thought staying friends would be safer, that it would protect both of you from getting hurt. And if the two of you have known each other for a long time, this also suggests that, even though they deeply want to take the relationship further and build a future with you, they still wrestle with doubts about their own capacity. Can they walk this long path by your side? They want to, but they are afraid they might not be able to. The Recovery card here also suggests that, perhaps in the past, this person had already tried very hard to pursue something similar, but ultimately couldn't carry it through. It's also possible that this fear stems from even deeper wounds, perhaps from past lives. When fear or self-doubt runs so deep that it feels almost like a programmed belief, then it is no longer just a fleeting emotion of the present moment, but something deeply embedded over time. And now, it's as if this person keeps repeating in their mind, "I can't do this," like a limiting belief etched into their subconscious, making them constantly question themselves. Alternatively, if this person is currently in a complicated relationship, such as already being married, having a spouse, or being in a committed relationship with someone else, they might be feeling as though they are forced to give up their connection with you. The greatest sorrow here lies in the belief that they cannot give you what you truly deserve. They feel guilty, heartbroken that they can't fully reciprocate your feelings, even though deep inside, they truly long to be with you, to be a part of your life. So, while there may be many different situations for those watching this reading, at the core lies a shared inner turmoil within this person. They might think that because they already have a family, a spouse, or children, they no longer have the right to pursue this relationship. Or, even without such specific attachments, they may still feel incapable of bringing you happiness. They tell themselves that, because they can't make you happy, perhaps they should walk away. And yet, when we look deeper into their heart, what emerges is a very clear desire. They truly want to be with you. They sincerely want to build something meaningful with you, but they just can't bring themselves to openly admit it. This inner conflict may be causing them to act in ways that seem contradictory, such as deliberately keeping their distance from you, saying things that hurt you, or behaving coldly and detached. There may have been times when they purposely pushed you away, said things that seemed careless, or acted as if they wanted to end things. Yet in truth, those actions were simply attempts to mask their own pain and sense of helplessness. And that, in turn, may have led to misunderstandings, friction, or even unnecessary arguments between the two of you. Ultimately, if this person could allow themselves to be honest about their feelings, if they had the courage to fully accept how they feel about you, and if they could stand up with confidence in that love, then perhaps the two of you wouldn't have had to go through so many conflicts and heartaches. Because the root of those struggles does not lie with you, it lies in the fact that they have not allowed themselves to love you fully. Perhaps you are the one who has loved and accepted this person despite all the complexities surrounding them. You know who they truly are, and even after seeing the parts of them that are less than perfect, you still chose to embrace them and remain by their side. You love them with understanding, with compassion, and with a heart deep enough not to demand that they become someone else. And yet, they carry a lingering sense of guilt toward you. They believe they are not worthy, that they cannot face you with dignity, and it is that very belief that drives them to suppress their true emotions. And this very act of suppression causes their behavior and attitude to sometimes appear strange and difficult to understand, at times distant, at times full of contradictions. It seems they're trying to control their emotions, but the more they suppress them, the more they are drawn in. Their heart is growing more intense in its feelings for you. This love is expanding and becoming more serious than ever before. This is no longer a fleeting emotion, but a truly deep and sincere feeling. Even in the case where the two of you are not yet officially together, they're still looking at you with a clear desire to enter into a special relationship with you. Not just a temporary closeness, but a bond that looks toward the future. In their mind, you are someone they could build a home with. They may have even imagined, if it were possible, the mother of my children would be this person. They see you as an ideal vision for their future, not just a lover, but a life companion, a partner. The friendship card also appears as a way of showing that the foundation between you two isn't built on love alone, but also on a soul-level harmony, like that between true friends. Perhaps they feel that you possess so many admirable qualities, both in spirit and in presence, and this only draws them to you even more. However, within them, there are still inner blocks, personal circumstances that prevent them from fully allowing themselves to live freely in this love. They are still in the midst of an internal battle, not yet able to release all the bindings or self-imposed limits that would allow them to love you completely. But what cannot be denied is this: they are genuine and they are serious. To speak frankly, when it comes to the decision this person has made, I can't help but feel a sense of doubt. Have they truly made up their mind? Although this reading focuses on the decision they may have reached, the energy suggests they are still not entirely certain. Deep within their soul, there is indeed a strong desire for this relationship to move forward. They long for it genuinely. However, there remains a gap between desire and true decision. Desire is an emotion. A decision, on the other hand, is a deliberate action, and here, this person is still hesitating. The compromise card reveals that they are trying to find a way, a solution that would allow them to pursue what they want without harming the other aspects of their life that bind them. They are seeking a path that lets them hold on to what they already have while also not losing you. So, I drew more cards to get to the heart of the matter. What, then, is the actual decision they have made? And once again, something became very clear: they are still torn. They have not made a firm, definitive choice. The dog card, a symbol of loyalty and devotion, shows that they are clinging to the connections they once committed to or once deeply cherished. Meanwhile, the illusion card suggests that their mind may be clouded, caught between what is real and what is imagined. They may be uncertain whether what they are feeling or seeing is truly real, or they may fear that what they long for is nothing more than a dream, a fantasy that could never come true. So I continued exploring this person's impression of you, as well as the core of their personality. When I drew a card to represent their character, I received the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This indicates that they tend to be cautious and meticulous, yet at the same time, they struggle to take action easily. It feels as though their heart and their body are not aligned. Their mind wants one thing, but their actions go in another direction. They find it difficult to act directly on their true emotions, and this often results in conflicting behaviors. From the cards that emerged, it's very clear that this person is not entirely honest with themselves. They cannot act in alignment with what their heart is calling for. Even when the situation between the two of you is not particularly problematic, they have a tendency to complicate things on their own. It's not that they intend to cause harm, nor that they are two-faced or insincere. It's simply that they overthink, worry too much, and in doing so, they unintentionally disrupt what is otherwise a good connection. They have a tendency to overcomplicate matters, thinking so far ahead that they end up making unnecessary moves, which in turn creates waves between the two of you that neither of you wanted. It's likely that this person is truly caught in overthinking to the point where everything becomes tangled and they're trapped in an endless loop of thoughts. They worry, they ponder, and then they exhaust themselves from the weight of their own mental burden. Meanwhile, I sense that you are the one holding the calm, the steadiness. Perhaps you are thinking, there's no need to rush into a decision right now. Things don't have to be so serious just yet. Let's simply enjoy this relationship, nurture it gently and sincerely. You seem to be in a more grounded, tranquil state, deep, reflective, and unhurried. So, are you feeling anxious about this relationship? I don't sense that you are. When I drew a card to reflect your emotions, the Two of Pentacles appeared, a card that speaks of flexibility, adaptability, balance, and thoughtful adjustment. This suggests that you are someone who handles things with grace, someone who knows how to regulate your emotions, and more importantly, someone who is consciously creating harmony within this connection. You might be thinking, here comes this phase again. It seems like today they're acting a little differently, quieter perhaps, or maybe the atmosphere feels lighter than usual. You are deeply attuned to the shifts in their emotions and energy, whether the two of you are officially together or not. It seems you can clearly sense even the subtlest changes in their emotional landscape, when they're happy, when they're withdrawn, when they're excited, or when they're hiding something. And not only do you perceive all of this, but you're also quietly embracing it without judgment. If this person is currently entangled in obligations, whether they're already in a relationship, married, or carrying other responsibilities, you are aware of that. Yet you are not forcing anything, not rushing for immediate change. You're not viewing this relationship in a shallow or fleeting way, but with depth and understanding. It's as if you're saying, I don't need an answer right now. I trust that the answer will come at the right time. For now, as long as we can still be honest with each other, as long as we can still share this space together sincerely, that is enough. You bring this person a sense of warmth and steadiness, as if you are their safe harbor, the place they can lean on when their soul grows weary. And that doesn't come from blind sacrifice, but from a heart mature enough to understand that true love doesn't need to rush. It only needs to be fully present, moment by moment, in the time shared together. So, in this reading centered on the decision they've made, you may have tuned in with a touch of expectation. However, I feel that even if this person hasn't made any clear or final decision, you wouldn't be entirely surprised or disappointed. You likely know them well by now. Their way of being slow to choose, hesitant to articulate things clearly, yet deeply sincere in their own quiet way. And if that sense I have doesn't quite align with your truth, please feel free to set it aside. The Tribe card appearing in reverse further highlights this energy. What comes through strongly is the sense of powerlessness they carry within, the feeling that they cannot offer you all that you truly deserve. Perhaps their job keeps them too busy to spend time with you, or maybe they simply believe they're not yet capable of placing you at the center of their life. And so, in the depths of their heart, there remains a lingering ache, a quiet regret, as if they're constantly telling themselves, I can't truly show up for this person the way I wish I could. Alongside everything else, one particularly prominent element is their lack of self-confidence. This person may not truly believe they are worthy of your affection, and it is precisely this inner sense of inadequacy that makes them even more conflicted. Even though they know they can't give you everything, even though they are aware of their shortcomings, they are increasingly driven by a desire to hold on to your love more tightly. They may feel jealous of the people around you, those who have the chance to be near you, to care for you, to talk to you. These emotions may be subtle, not openly expressed, but they burn intensely within them. They may desperately want to keep you for themselves. They want your attention solely on them. They want you to stay by their side as something certain, regardless of whether they are currently able to give you the love you deserve in full. Their feelings have begun to take the shape of a tender kind of possessiveness, sweet but deeply rooted in fear. A fear of losing you, a fear of you drifting away, a fear that one day you might find someone who can give you more than they ever could. And from that fear, a quiet but powerful sense of emotional possession starts to form in their heart. It's not exactly toxic control, but rather a desperate longing that silently pleads, "Please don't leave me." When it comes to the theme of decision in this reading, to be honest, I still don't sense any clear or resolute will from this person. It's fair to say that what they truly desire is already present. They want something deeper with you, but rather than rushing into a big declaration like "let's be official" or "I want to marry you," they now wish to approach that goal more slowly and cautiously. It's as if they're quietly saying to themselves, "First, let's begin by becoming closer. Let's start by building a relationship that is genuinely intimate and rooted in trust." What they may have decided, then, is this: they want to build something with you. Even if they can't make a concrete promise or offer a full commitment just yet, they've become clear within themselves that, "I want you to be part of my journey ahead." But beneath that composed exterior lies a deeper truth, one you may not have fully sensed. Within them is a gentle, unspoken possessiveness toward you. You may not have seen this in their words or actions. You might think this person doesn't cling, doesn't get jealous, doesn't really care who you're with or where you go. But the reality is, the closer they grow to you, the deeper they fall into this connection, the more those hidden parts of themselves, selfishness, envy, fear of loss, begin to rise to the surface. Becoming more intimate with you also means having to confront their own shadows. The parts they don't want to admit, that they're afraid of losing you, that they want you to be theirs alone, that you are becoming so important to them it would be unbearable to lose you. And that truth terrifies them. The depth of this connection with you is forcing them to see themselves more clearly, both the beauty they carry and the wounds that have yet to heal. And when they look at you, they see something almost unbelievable, like an ideal image stepped out of a dream. To them, you are a symbol of purity, the embodiment of everything they once longed for. You possess all that they've ever searched for in a person, not just outward beauty, but the soul, the way you listen, the gentle energy you carry. They can hardly believe that someone like you truly exists in this world. This isn't merely infatuation, it's a profound and emotional sense of reverence. And because of that, they simply cannot bear the thought of losing you. They genuinely want you to remain in their life, not only in the present, but also in the future, through all the roads yet to come, through moments they can't yet foresee, but in which they already know one thing for sure: they need you to be there. Not as someone who merely passes through, but as someone who stays. One thought that just surfaced is this: if this person is currently married, officially partnered, or living within an already established family structure, the cards suggest that this existing relationship is being questioned. Deep down, they may be starting to feel the urge to walk away from it. There's a rising emotion that says, "Should I end this? Can I leave this relationship behind to begin something truly meaningful with this other person, with you?" Such questions are beginning to stir within them. However, because their current relationship has not yet been fully resolved or brought to a clear conclusion, they cannot offer you a firm promise about the future. They cannot yet say, "We will be together," or "I choose you." And yet, the cards affirm with clarity, they genuinely want to come closer to you. They want to build something meaningful with you, even if that means they must end what they are currently tied to. This might be a truth that would feel heavy to hear directly from them, because you are someone deeply understanding and emotionally aware. But clearly, their energy is leaning more and more in your direction. This is quite a specific reading, and may only resonate with those who are involved in a complex relationship. But if you belong to that group, know this: this person is beginning to realize that they can no longer remain in their current relationship. They no longer feel a deep enough connection to continue maintaining their family or their previous commitment. The family card, usually representing home, kinship, or long-standing bonds, is now showing signs of doubt and instability. This person is beginning to feel that they can no longer stay in that relationship wholeheartedly. However, this doesn't mean they are ready to leave it all behind instantly. They cannot yet declare with absolute certainty that they'll be able to resolve everything, because there may still be many entanglements on the other side: children, financial ties, responsibilities, or emotional attachments from the past. Still, what matters is this: they have decided to confront it. Even if it means facing conflict, even if the path ahead isn't smooth, they are willing to sit down, speak honestly with the other person, and try to rearrange their life so that they can make you more of a priority. They are preparing themselves internally for a turning point. While the outcome is not yet guaranteed, they have chosen a direction. They want to face reality, to bring everything into the open because they don't want to lose you. Although the earlier part of this reading focused heavily on those in complicated relationships, if you're not in that situation, if this person is not already involved with someone else, not married, not tied to another family, then the story here takes on a different tone. While the circumstances may not be complex, the emotions they feel for you are no less profound. The card symbolizing friendship or family, a symbol of emotional closeness and lasting bonds, makes one thing very clear: this person genuinely wants to build an intimate, long-term, meaningful relationship with you. That much they have already decided. However, what holds them back lies within. The closer they get to you, the more afraid they become of exposing the parts of themselves they consider less beautiful. They worry that as the relationship deepens, their weaknesses, insecurities, and vulnerabilities will come to light, and this makes them question: will you be able to accept those parts of them? Will you still stay once you see their imperfections? In truth, you've likely understood this about them for quite some time. And at times, you may even feel exhausted by their inner hesitations. You might be thinking, I already understand. There's no need to worry so much. Just be yourself, it's okay. You accept them for who they are, the good and the flawed, but they continue to be caught in their own cycle of fear and self-doubt. The desire to control or possess you that they subtly express also stems from that fear. Because they lack self-confidence, they want to hold on to you more tightly. The more afraid they are of losing you, the more they tend to show signs of jealousy or quiet possessiveness, gentle, but very real. If the two of you met in a work setting, within a shared friend group, or as part of the same community, then there's another layer to this situation. This person may be standing at a crossroads, choosing between maintaining their current social ties or prioritizing their relationship with you, and they've already begun leaning in your direction. Even if it's not easy to completely step away from the group, the company, or long-standing friendships, they're starting to think, no matter what others may say, no matter how people around me might react, the most important thing is being close to you. They're preparing themselves mentally to face judgment, to endure whispers and questioning looks, all for the sake of nurturing the bond between the two of you. In other words, they're gradually arriving at an emotionally significant decision. No matter the circumstances, no matter what must be left behind, they want to keep you in their life. However, I can sense that there's still a fogginess, a lingering haze in their energy right now. Whether or not the two of you are officially in a relationship, you may have found yourself wondering, what is this really? Why do they say one thing today and act differently tomorrow? Perhaps you've noticed that their words and actions don't always align, or that their emotional state seems inconsistent, leaving you feeling confused. And yet, one thing is certain: they truly feel a powerful sense of destiny between you and them. So much so that the feelings they have are no longer confined to the usual realm of romance or dating. It has become something beyond that. A clear and undeniable sense of future family, of a lifelong companion, of someone they could walk through life with. They no longer see you as just a romantic partner, but as someone who could become true family. And because of that, they've become extremely serious and cautious. They don't dare to be impulsive. They don't want to rush into a decision that might ruin something potentially so precious. If this were just a fleeting connection, a romance meant only to begin and end, they wouldn't be thinking this hard. They wouldn't be worried about whether they're good enough or deserving of you. But clearly, they're thinking of you with utmost sincerity and reverence. In their heart, this connection is no longer simply about love or not love. It has become something far more profound, something sacred. It feels to them like a soul connection, as if they've encountered a soulmate, someone one might meet only once in a lifetime, someone so precious that it leaves them shaken. Have I really met this person? Could someone like that truly appear in my life? And because of this, they feel fear. They don't know what to do with such overwhelming emotions. They don't know if they can live up to it, if they are worthy of protecting something so sacred. That's why they can't make decisions easily. Not because they don't want to, but because they're afraid of losing what they believe to be a once-in-a-lifetime gift. They feel they are standing in front of someone they never imagined they'd have the chance to meet, and that very realization makes them hesitant, cautious, and at times, seemingly conflicted. But in truth, It's simply the sign of a heart that is deeply moved. And so, within them lies a powerful desire. I want to make a decision for you. I want to ease my own heart. They want clarity. They want to emerge from the fog, but at the same time, another part of them is holding back, unsure, hesitant, and afraid. The image of the dog that appeared in this reading feels like the perfect symbol of this person, a loyal, emotional soul, constantly drawn toward you with genuine affection. There's something within them that speaks very clearly. Don't go. Please don't leave me. Stay by my side. Even though I'm not perfect, even though I'm still struggling with myself. This person seems to be the kind who finds it difficult to make firm decisions. Not because they don't want clarity, but because they overthink everything, constantly question their own capabilities, and as a result, their steps become hesitant. And yet, one thing is undeniable. They absolutely do not want to lose you. That feeling is intense, almost like an inner cry. Please give me more time. Please believe in me. I'm not letting go. From their perspective, what they may be silently hoping for is your forgiveness, your understanding and acceptance of the truth that, I haven't done my best yet, but please don't abandon me. If none of this resonates with your situation, feel free to let it go. But the energy radiating from the cards carries this message with striking clarity. Because of this, rather than continuing to dig into what this person is thinking or what decisions they're trying to make, questions that may never yield a clear answer, it feels more aligned now to shift the focus toward what lies ahead for the two of you. Continuing to dwell inside their mind might only lead to a loop of uncertainty, a string of vague emotions without resolution. And when the reading shifted in that direction, to explore the future between you, something surprising happened. A very positive card appeared. That card seemed to speak directly to your heart. Everything you've been hoping for is not in vain. The energy is beginning to shift, gently but surely, toward a brighter direction. In truth, it seems that you and this person are entering a phase where, even without any concrete promise yet, a deep, lasting, and truly meaningful connection is beginning to take root. As if, despite the uncertainty of the present, the future is quietly preparing a solid place for the two of you to stand together. And perhaps, what is most needed now is not an immediate answer, but trust and unwavering companionship. First and foremost, one thing is crystal clear. You and this person are truly destined for each other, a connection that goes far beyond what either of you may have expected. The heart card appearing alongside the ring is a profoundly powerful affirmation that this is a bond that cannot be denied. It is a union orchestrated by higher forces, not merely a random encounter. I have to admit, this entire reading carries an exceptionally rare and uplifting energy, as if every card is resonating in harmony toward a remarkably positive outcome. Even I was surprised. At first, I had concerns about whether this person would be able to move beyond their emotional haze, but now I can confidently say, they will. The card representing masculine energy has also emerged, a symbol of action, initiative, and decisiveness, indicating that within the next 12 months, this person will make a significant decision. And that decision will be the one that turns your heartfelt wish into reality. There is one card that gave me pause for a moment. The image of the mouse, a symbol of anxiety, pressure, and the small, subtle things that can erode emotions over time. However, in this case, that card is directly tied to a message of renewal and rebirth. The Ancient Remains card has appeared as a confirmation that whatever fears, burdens, responsibilities, or psychological weight may have held this person back, those things will gradually be released to make way for a new chapter to begin. You may witness a noticeable transformation in your relationship, perhaps becoming officially involved, a proposal, or at the very least, a clear and deliberate step forward. There is a strong likelihood that this shift will occur within the next 2 to 6 months, as this person begins to feel emotionally and mentally ready to take action. What truly matters here is not just that they will take action, but that their decision will come from the heart. They choose you, not because of external circumstances, not because someone advised them to, but because, deep within, they have come to the genuine realization that you are the one they want to walk with in the next chapter of their life. Cards like family and lovers further reinforce this truth. You are not just a romantic interest, but someone they see as family, as a true life partner. And so, within the next 12 months, you may receive a confession of love, a commitment, or even a proposal, something tangible that clearly shows they are ready to step into the future with you. Right now, it may still feel like their decision is somewhat vague, not entirely defined. But according to the energy of this reading, that uncertainty will begin to dissolve over the next 12 months. There will be a turning point, a shift towards something more concrete and clearly established. However, in order to reach the point of expressing that to you, it seems this person must first confront and resolve something within themselves or their current life circumstances. They understand deeply that before they can be fully present with you, they need to address whatever is holding them back, whether it's an unresolved past relationship, an open-ended commitment, or a deeply rooted fear within their own psyche. However, the feelings they have for you are rising steadily, and that very intensity may drive them to take action even before everything in their life is fully resolved. They might come forward and express what they truly think and feel, even if there are still lingering uncertainties within them. Why would they choose that particular moment to speak up? Because they want to know how you feel. They've sensed that you're someone thoughtful, reserved, and not quick to reveal your true emotions. For that reason, they need to know whether you're truly leaning toward them. If you're not walking the same path, they may decide there's no reason to tear down what they currently have in pursuit of something uncertain. But if your response is positive, if you two are hoping for a future together, then that alone will become the motivation they need. It will give them the strength to let go of what's holding them back, to face everything they've been carrying inside, and to resolve it once and for all. In other words, they need a sign from you first. If they know the two of you are aligned in heart and intention, they won't hesitate to say, "All right, then I'll sort it all out. I'll choose you, clearly and decisively." Whether it's a past relationship, a lingering responsibility, or an internal struggle, they're ready to confront it, as long as they're sure that you want to walk forward together. I sense that if this person still doesn't feel fully confident right now, they may throw themselves into their work, not just to avoid their emotions but as a way to build their self-worth. They want to feel more deserving of you, to become someone who can walk beside you in a committed union. They may be telling themselves, "I need to work harder, become more stable so I can hold their hand and walk to the very end." They want to build a solid foundation before fully stepping into your life. This doesn't mean they're calculating or lacking seriousness. On the contrary, they are not the type to be vague or evasive, as you may have feared. But putting yourself in your own shoes, it's understandable if you've had moments of thinking, if they truly love me, then they should sort everything out before coming to me. You want a love that is clear, clean, and free from entanglements, and that feeling is entirely valid. However, this person is the kind who taps on the bridge until it's almost about to break before daring to walk across. In other words, they are extremely cautious, so much so that their pace might come across as slow or indecisive to others. But it's not because they're not serious. Their rhythm is simply very slow, very deliberate. Nearly every card in this reading reflects a deep sense of care, not haste. They resemble a turtle, steady, persistent, never impulsive. And yet, something is about to shift the energy, a jolt, a turning point, or some significant event will take place and act as a trigger, a spark that prompts them to finally open their heart. I don't know exactly what it will be, but the sense is strong. There will be a defining moment that they can no longer delay, and when it arrives, they will finally speak their truth. And then the yin-yang card appears, a symbol deeply profound, not only representing internal balance, but also the union of souls. It is a sign of harmony at the soul level and a strong indicator of a twin flame connection. Even the numbers showing up in the reading are mirrored, often referred to as twin numbers. These signs point to the fact that this is not merely a romantic connection, but a bond forged at a soul level, rare, sacred, and beyond explanation. When they look at you, they feel something incredibly deep, a kind of knowing that needs no explanation. No one has to say it, nothing needs to be spelled out, but their heart understands, "I've found the one." And because that realization is so profound, so rare, it also becomes the very reason they feel afraid, hesitant, and more cautious than ever. But because this is a soul connection, sooner or later, the two of you will be drawn together. It's inevitable. And when that moment arrives, they will no longer hesitate. This person is truly unique. They seem to be someone with a sharp intuition, yet they also possess a keen analytical mind, so much so that they sometimes tie themselves into knots from overthinking. As I connected with their energy, a message came through with striking clarity. If I keep going like this, I'm going to lose her or him. And that realization is beginning to stir real anxiety within them. It's possible that recently, something about your actions, your words, or even your energy has shifted. Maybe you've become a little more distant, quieter, or less engaged than before. Or perhaps they've heard something from someone around them, and it jolted them awake with the terrifying thought, "I'm about to lose this person." They once saw you as someone special, one of a kind, but the fear that you could slip away at any moment is now sending them into quiet panic. And when that fear becomes strong enough, it sparks a fire within them. They begin to act, not from a carefully crafted plan, but from a place of raw, genuine emotion. Their intuition is sounding the alarm. This is the decisive moment. If they don't do something now, they risk losing the most precious thing they've ever known. From that point onward, a new journey begins, a path where they must finally face what they've long avoided. In about 3 months, the specific issues they've been reluctant to confront, whether responsibilities, attachments, or, if relevant, a third-party relationship, will begin to surface, demanding their attention. But unlike before, this time they will truly face them head-on. It won't be because of pressure, it will be because of love. Because they genuinely want to marry you, to commit to you, to build something stable, clear, and lasting with you. They no longer want to hold on to you through vague emotions. They want to shape this love into something tangible. And so, to reach that place, they understand that they must resolve what still lingers. It may be a past relationship, an unresolved tie, or a deep internal issue, but whatever it is, they are no longer running from it. They know now, with clarity, that only when they are truly free and grounded can they move toward you in a way that is worthy. If this person is currently involved with someone else, the message from the reading is very clear. They will confront that situation with seriousness. They no longer want to leave things in limbo because they know that if they don't act, you may walk away for good this time. At their core, this person seems to want you to express your thoughts and desires clearly. Deep down, they hope that both of you can truly understand one another before moving forward. So, if they take the step to show you something from their heart, it will be important for you to respond with honesty and clarity as well. Speak sincerely, say, "This is how I see it," or "This is how I feel." If, for instance, you're not hoping for marriage, then say so openly. But if, on the other hand, you too want this relationship to grow into something lasting and meaningful, then express that with equal clarity and sincerity. If you remain hesitant, overly reserved, trying to please everyone, or afraid to express what you truly want, this person may easily fall into confusion, unsure of how to interpret your feelings. That's why being honest with yourself and expressing your true emotions is absolutely crucial. The reading has already revealed a card that signifies wishes coming true, so if you genuinely want to maintain and grow this relationship, then living authentically must be your priority. Your honesty with yourself is the key that unlocks the potential for this connection to move forward in a positive direction. In the end, everything else rests with them. The truth is, there are certain things you cannot control. Sometimes, all you can do is observe in silence and wait. A card representing emotional pain from a past relationship appeared in the reading, possibly pointing to unresolved wounds from their history. When tuning into that energy, I sense that this person may still be carrying a deep emotional scar, a heartbreak that has yet to fully heal. At the same time, I also picked up on something else. Could it be that you've started to feel emotionally exhausted in this journey with them? Perhaps being beside this person has slowly built up tension or emotional fatigue within you, something you haven't quite acknowledged yet. I sense something akin to a silent sigh in your heart, a feeling of weariness, as if to say, "I'm truly tired now." That energy is quite present. If this doesn't resonate, please forgive me, but I have a strong intuition that lately you've begun to feel frustrated or emotionally strained. Maybe there have been moments when you've snapped, lost patience, or simply felt your emotional state weighed down. The cards reflect this as well, hinting at an emotional fog within you, so much left unsaid, like a cloud that lingers and refuses to clear. The Trust card, along with the message about intuition, highlights something important. You may no longer fully trust your own emotions and inner guidance. When you're around this person, it's possible that your intuition feels clouded. You're unsure whether what you're feeling is right or wrong, and you don't know what to do. Perhaps there was a time when you were very clear about your own feelings, but the more time you spend around this person, the more uncertain and confused you've become, sometimes even unable to distinguish your true emotions. This person's energy seems to be affecting you in a way that isn't entirely positive. There's a sense of depletion. I feel you're being energetically drained without even realizing it. You may find yourself becoming irritable, unstable, or overwhelmed, and this could be because they are disrupting your natural rhythm. You're someone who usually has strong intuitive perception and emotional clarity, not easily swayed. But in this connection, it feels like you're being pulled into a fog of uncertainty, causing you to doubt yourself and lose your sense of direction. So the question becomes, how can you stop being negatively affected by this person? The reading suggests that, for now, the best thing you can do is create some emotional distance. This doesn't mean cutting them off entirely, but establishing a buffer, some emotional space that allows you to avoid being swept away by their energy and emotions. Observe. Step back. Give yourself the emotional safety and clarity you need. The next card brings a powerful message. Stay optimistic. Your dream is coming true. Don't give up just before the miracle unfolds. Truly, if you have a dream, a heartfelt wish, the universe is telling you that it can absolutely become reality, so long as you don't give up. You may be standing at a threshold. A major turning point is approaching, and you are only one step away from something magical. It's like the saying goes, the moment you feel most ready to give up might be the very moment your miracle is closest. So trust in yourself. Take a step back, create the space you need so you're not affected by outside negativity, and observe with clarity. Even if things feel confusing right now, there is still a light within you, a quiet voice pointing the way. And as you return to yourself, your wish will begin to take form. It's true. The very thing you once prayed for, once silently hoped for, it is now taking shape, drawing nearer with each passing moment. But I can feel that you're growing tired. It's as if you're beginning to let go, telling yourself, maybe it's okay if it doesn't happen, or maybe I was wrong. You've tried for so long, hoped for so much, and now part of you just wants to stop. And that is exactly why the most important message here is, don't give up right before the miracle happens. This reading shows that the moment you've been waiting for, the moment when this person finally expresses themselves clearly, affirms their feelings for you, and makes a definite choice about the relationship, is drawing near. It's very likely that you're watching this reading from a place of weariness, half believing, half doubting, thinking to yourself, maybe this is the last time, I'll give up after this. But right at the point where you feel ready to walk away, the universe is whispering one thing. The miracle is coming. Don't give up. The Stay Optimistic card is telling you that as long as you keep a positive mindset and don't fall into despair, what you're hoping for will come true. Not in some fairy tale way, but in the most genuine sense, through the rewards of patience, compassion, and the love you've poured in with all your heart. All you need is to hold on to your faith just a little longer. Perhaps you've watched readings like Should I Stay or Let Go? Or Should I Give Up on This Person? And you've spent a lot of time reflecting. Maybe you've hoped that this person would say something reassuring, something that would give you a clear signal. But instead, they said something completely different, something that left you disappointed and wondering, what am I really waiting for? That feeling of building up hope only to be let down again and again has left you weary and emotionally wounded. And yet, what you need to know is this. This person truly has feelings for you. The cards show a powerful connection, possibly a twin flame bond or a deeply spiritual soulmate. Because of the depth of these feelings, every emotion within you has been amplified. Hope, heartbreak, disappointment, and then once more, a trembling of the heart. This person might drive you crazy, make you angry, make you want to walk away, but at the same time, they're also the one your heart has never truly been able to let go of. They are the one who makes you angry, who leaves you feeling overwhelmed, and yet they are also the one you love deeply. And because that love runs so deep, it also makes you more vulnerable to pain. But the most important thing right now is this. A miracle is approaching. Everything that once felt like a distant dream is now slowly becoming reality. The universe is whispering to you, just believe a little more, just a little longer, and you will witness the magic unfold. That's why this relationship carries the feeling of destiny, like a fated encounter, a divine orchestration of fate. So, it is essential that you don't let yourself get swept away by the emotional instability this person may bring. Live according to your own inner rhythm and intuition. And if deep down you've come to feel, yes, things will unfold exactly as they should, then gently release your worries. Letting go here doesn't mean walking away. It means releasing the need to control, releasing unnecessary anxieties so that you can feel more grounded and at peace along this journey. This card isn't simply telling you to stay positive. On a deeper level, it's urging you to create a true sanctuary, both within and around you. The Sanctuary card is a reminder that your mind reflects your living space, and your living space, in turn, deeply influences your inner peace. So if you find yourself irritated, easily frustrated, especially when thinking about this person, you may be unconsciously reacting in ways like overreading, impulsive shopping, or letting your room or home fall into clutter and chaos without even realizing it. If you truly find yourself in such a state, then this is the time to turn inward and begin the process of cleansing. When your inner world feels tangled, even the smallest acts, reorganizing your space, Throwing away what you no longer need, cleaning and refreshing your surroundings can help you regain a sense of control and inner calm. And the reverse is also true. When you bring order and comfort to your outer environment, you are soothing your inner emotional state. Instead of endlessly questioning this relationship, instead of overthinking whether this person is sincere or if things will move forward, now is the moment to devote your time and energy to yourself. Allow your mind to relax by caring for your space, by creating an environment where you feel at ease, comfortable, and safe. For some, a space filled with familiar objects brings warmth and stability. If that's the case, arrange it in a way that resonates with you. Whatever your style may be, the most important thing is to create a place, both physically and emotionally, where you can truly be yourself and feel genuinely at peace. When you take good care of your inner sanctuary, everything else will start to feel clearer and more manageable. Because once you establish a stable and serene space of your own, you'll no longer be so easily swept up by the emotional currents this person brings. When your inner world is strong and centered, you won't be pulled into their fluctuations, and that creates a profound shift. The card of longing, yet carrying the energy of a king, emerges as a clear sign that this person holds a deep admiration for you. There is something in you that they yearn for, not just your affection, but your very presence as an ideal, something beautiful they've always wished to have in their life. I sense that this person, despite not showing it outwardly, is actually quite romantic at heart. They carry a dreamer's spirit, perhaps the type who once believed in destined love, in the idea of a fated other half, and when they met you, they felt that powerful recognition. This person sees you as the ideal they've always hoped for. You are the one they've long dreamed of, the one they've always wished to be beside. And now, they feel that they've finally met that person. It's you. Because of this, there's a constant surge of regret, remorse, and silent apologies flowing within them. Apologies for hurting you, for exhausting you, for making you angry, for their actions that fell short of what you deserved. I believe that's also why you may have felt like you were constantly being spun around by them, because they, too, were spinning in the chaos of their own emotions. They know they haven't been good enough, they know they've made mistakes, and they carry a deep sense of regret. All of this makes them want to say to you, I'm sorry, truly sorry for not being the version of myself that was worthy of you. However, what matters most now is this. Their heart has undergone a transformation. The heart ring card, a clear symbol of profound love and even a proposal, shows that this person doesn't just love you, but is sincerely thinking about a long-term commitment, perhaps even marriage. Moreover, they are entering a phase of rebirth. They want to become someone new, someone better. Not for anyone else, but for you. They no longer wish to be the one who brings you pain, but instead, they want to be the one who can truly make you happy, the one you can lean on. With all the cards present here, from love and rebirth to heartfelt apology, I truly believe this person is thinking very seriously about the relationship with you. They no longer see this as a fleeting connection, but instead as something precious they want to protect and cherish in their life. And perhaps, they're quietly hoping that you will believe in them one more time, so they can have the chance to show you the best version of themselves, for love and for you. That's why, once again, the message comes through clearly. Please don't give up just before the miracle happens. I can feel so strongly the energy of a whispered plea from this person. Please don't give up on me. Please don't walk away. There is a deep fear within them, the fear that you will turn your back and leave, that you won't want to stay any longer. However, this entirely depends on you. Are you still willing to continue this journey? The reading shows that the next 6 months may be a time of challenge for both of you. And even though there are positive signs, even though this person holds genuine feelings for you, it is you who must ask yourself, do I still want to invest my emotions in this relationship? Even though the universe is sending a message not to give up, if you find that you are being hurt, if you are becoming more and more exhausted, then taking a step back, creating some distance to protect yourself, is absolutely the right thing to do. This person may be saying, please don't leave, but if you choose to love yourself first and prioritize your own happiness, that very choice could be the awakening touch they need. It might only be when you dare to step out of your pain that they will truly feel the fear of losing you and finally begin to take action. And so, the turning point lies in your decision. The most important thing right now is to take care of yourself. Return to your own center and ask yourself what truly brings you peace and happiness. If you choose to let go, if you genuinely feel exhausted and believe you've done your best and now simply want to release everything with ease, then that is absolutely okay. As long as it brings you relief and serenity, then that is always the right path for you. The universe is telling you that all your wishes can come true. But for that to happen, you need to be truly clear about what it is you desire. Ask yourself once again, what do I truly want from this relationship? And make your choice not out of fear of losing someone, but because you are choosing what brings you the deepest sense of happiness and peace. When you live in alignment with your heart, what you are waiting for will come, fully, and in its most complete form. That concludes the reading for those who chose pile 3. If what I shared has given you helpful insight or even just a moment of resonance, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to support me. Thank you so much for staying with me until the very end of the video. I wish you a day filled with peace and good fortune. I'll see you again in the next reading.